guys, here's Herman here. So I'm back with Danganronpa V3. So we're gonna finish the investigation for sure. Gonna try to do the trial. We'll see how that goes. Because that can get pretty long. But we're gonna finish the investigation for sure. Because I was not expecting the second death. Where am I? Is this one? Well, obviously the first thing I need to do is examine Tenko's body. How the hell did this happen? Tenko's dead body. She took her last breath crouched over like this. Put them on a coma file. Her only injury is the stab wound to her neck. This wound was fatal. This must have caused his death. I didn't hear a scream during the seance. Wait. Not say a word till the seance is over. Tenko really keep her mouth shut despite the pain? Yes, she would.
No.
Death might not have been instant, but she couldn't have gone far before she bled out.
Huh?
What do you mean?
What's the point?
You're concerned about that, right?
Okay.
The wound this deep, the victim is too shocked to do anything except die. You're speaking from experience? Right. Ultimate assassin.
That's obvious.
Of course, quick deaths are my specialty. Well then, that makes sense.
By the way,
The real question is, what was she killed with? I don't see a murder weapon around. Yeah, stabbed. How does that work? Right, I don't see an obvious murder weapon that could be a clue. She died because she was stabbed. But with what? Definitely the marker stone. Drug next to Tenko's body, this must be... Yeah, that's the marker stone. That was for, where she's supposed to keep her head. You had her forehead on this rock hunched over. Try to make yourself small enough inside the cage. Shouldn't the marker stone have blood on it? Like, even a tiny little bit? She's really bled out enough that it didn't spread. This cage is the seance.
is this?
Must be around 3 feet high and 5 feet wide. Pretty large iron cage.
Okay.
There's also blood on the top. Enough for a person to fit inside. For Sans, Peachy and I covered Tango with the cage. We're supposed to remove it as well. So Miku rushed in and removed the cage first.
Hey,
Look at this.
is this?
Yeah, I noticed that. A blood stain on the bottom of the cage, probably Tango's blood, yeah?
That's true.
Yes, I imagine so. This matter must have been made when she was killed.
What do you mean?
Which means Tanko was killed while she was inside the cage.
Okay.
You're right, Tanko went under the cage before the seance. So it had to be something thin. The cage was lifted after the seance, she was already dead.
Then,
She stabbed right when the cage was lifted, that would explain this blood stain, right?
Huh?
When she was killed during the seance, the exact moment the cage was lifted, does it mean Himiko? It's a possibility. I am confused. Alright, well, God, that's you, Miko then.
Hey!
Miko, hey Miko, be strong, Miko!
wait.
Go But if she shake Kamiko that much, she's going to break.
What?
She's not talking. It's like Kamiko not even here.
Like I thought.
She's been really shocked over Tenko. Let's leave her be for now. Okay. Miko. There's no point talking to the people who weren't here. With the exception of Kibo, because of his eyes. Yukichi, you're next.
Oh man.
Yeah, well, ain't functioning. He should be like a transformer or something. Yeah, that's trademarked. Anyway, of course, Kyo.
That cannot be.
Why did this?
I knew it.
Kyo, I know the murder was pretty shocking.
But of course.
Of course, I'm shocked about that as well, but why did the seance fail? I'm not surprised. Performed all the steps flawlessly. More concerned by that than the murder.
Ah, yes.
Oh, if we perform the cage child again, some Tango spirit this time. No, bad idea.
This is stupid.
What the crap? Just tell me what happened during the seance. Was Yuichi were present, right? Did she get killed during the seance?
I see, yes.
True, it may be best to move past what happened to know why the seance failed.
Is that so?
Whatever, just hurry up. For record, at the moment, Kyo is my favorite. At the time, in order to begin the seance, we had Tango's spiritual medium. Position herself as a turtle within the magic circle, so her head was still understood. Then Shuichi and Kokichi placed the cage over Tango. After that, I placed the white cloth over the cage. And all four of us placed the wooden statue of the dog on top of the cage. Afterwards, we stood in the four corners of the room. Kokichi and Shuichi blew out the candles.
Yes.
Finally, we all sang the Cage Child song, the statue of the
Ah!
You mentioned, I remember hearing a strange sound in the song. Yeah, the crashing sound. This mystery to me as well. I thought someone may have tripped, perhaps. I hear that sound from someone tripping. Perhaps Kyo knows something.
What do you mean?
And then what happened?
Yes.
We called out to her, but no reply came. I choose to keep you the candles. They removed all the items from within the magic circle in the opposite order. First, all four of us removed the dog god statue. Next, I took off the white cloth and then... Miko ran over to the cage, and the moment she lifted it... Looks like Tango's definitely killed during the seance.
No.
But would not be difficult in such darkness. Besides, she sits in the cage, yes.
Then?
What she killed? I just noticed that tile was moved.
Well, that's...
That is a problem.
I see, yes.
There's another problem. That is, why ever did the seance fail? I simply cannot figure it out. Kyo, I love you. Stop thinking about the seance.
Perhaps.
Maybe someone moved from their corner. Did someone else sneak in here?
What's the point?
Obviously, since this seance was clearly a sham, well, I never was one to pour punches. Can I ever look at that tile? Yeah, that board moved. So someone came from underneath. That would actually explain almost everything. Doesn't explain the back, how they got to the back of it. The magic circle Q drew on the floor, well, at least it was.
Oh dear.
Clearly stopped it over. I suppose it was unavoidable.
Well,
It was a strong salt.
Yes.
Whenever I perform a seance, I always use salt.
what?
You feel alright? You sound ridiculous. See, salt actually makes sense to me because salt's used in a lot of rituals.
Ridiculous.
I've performed many successful seances. Why I've even had this appearance in my pocket.
You're right already.
Shep, I don't want to hear about your stupid illusions. Or you're just beating around the bush. It's kind of refreshing, actually.
But...
In any case, with all these footprints, I can't make out the original circle.
So what?
We'll find out in Kyo's lab. It should be written in the ancient Dog Village document.
Hey,
Isn't that right, Kyo? Seems suppressed. I suppose that makes sense. I don't think there's anything left I can do here. Oh, the tarp. White cloth. White sheep used for the seance. Seems to be completely clean, so it's placed on top of the cage. He was the one who removed it.
is this?
This cloth is pretty thick. Similar to a window curtain, but it's completely opaque, and on the back, there's a bloodstain on it, right around the middle of the sheet. On the back of it, but no hole in the fabric. Means Tenko wasn't stabbed through this cloth.
Okay.
She was stabbed well underneath the cloth. Okay, that's being my theory if someone came from underneath. I don't think I'm gonna get much else here. I haven't talked to Keyboy yet, and I haven't looked at the dog statue or the cage itself. No, I haven't looked at the cage itself because that was part of the body. So one dog statue used in the seance, I believe it's called the dog god. For the seance, this one statue is on top of the cage. The performance to remove it. One statue is pretty heavy.
If I remember correctly,
He says about 175 pounds, about the weight of 2 girls.
What?
What do you know about girls? Have you even touched one besides your mother? What?
I'm kidding.
Anyway,
Is this?
this heavy thing was on top of the cage, and you would have been able to get out easily.
okay.
Yeah, you're right about that. It didn't sound like you were kidding earlier. She wasn't. Also, not all girls are the same weight, so I don't know what the hell you're talking about with these girls. Alright, Keyboy.
Leave it to me.
I'll become the guiding light that shines on you all. You're useless. The candles. I haven't done anything with the candles. Candles hung the walls, so the only source of light in the room. The windows in this room without the candles was pitch black. How did the culprit kill Tenko in complete darkness? So that's the last thing I had. Really? I can't think what else I have to investigate. Oh, apparently I haven't looked at the cage. I thought I did. This is the cage used in seance. It's pretty big, about 3 feet high and 1.5 feet wide. For the seance, Kokichi and I covered Tenko in the cage. I'm supposed to remove it as well, but you can go rush it first. Blood splatter on the underside of the cage when Tenko was killed. Which means Tenko was killed when she was still inside the cage. It's also on the underside of the cage, which means she was killed from underneath. It was possible that she was stabbed quickly, right when the cage opened. That's everything. How's there... What am I missing? Oh, okay, so I noticed it, I just didn't investigate it. Got it. Oh, this floorboard is loose. It's the one right under Tenko.
Why?
Why is this floorboard loose?
If I remember correctly,
It was like this before, it must have come loose during the seance.
Why?
What come loose during the seance?
but
Floorboard is thick and heavy when it comes loose easily. And someone must have loosed it on purpose. And that's the last bit. Okay, here we go. What? Really? What's that back there? Small opening in the corner of the room. look big enough for a person to get through, but still.
Is this...
Oh, looks there's space under here too. Oh, hold on. Whoa, it looks like something dropped down there.
Huh?
Something dropped down there? Something dropped in here? So we need to figure out what's underneath it. Check everywhere else. Why don't we go under the floor and see for ourselves?
You're right.
Right, let's do it.
By the way,
It's pretty dark down there. What should we use for a light?
That's true.
Let's bring a candle with keep us light from up here. That should be fine.
okay.
I'll go get a candle. Move that forward so we can go down.
Okay.
Got it. Put us in the floorboards near the hole and took the candle from Maki. Then we carefully made our way through the hole and under the floor. This is a lot more spacious than I thought. You can move pretty easily on all fours.
Okay.
Let's look around for clues.
Well,
Look pretty stupid if we found no clues after crawling around this stuff in place.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so a lot of blood dripped. There's a... Is that our candle? Or, well, this looks like investigated. So I guess that's our candle. I see... Yep, there's the sickle. Sickle here, and there's blood all over it.
Okay.
Well, the sickle is fresh. This is it. This is the murder weapon.
is this...
This came from my research lab.
Huh?
Did?
Well,
The sickle will be used to assassinate a target. Be thrown without losing any lethality, and you can hide it under your clothes too.
Well,
If she was attacked with this, she wouldn't stand a chance to live about 6 inches.
that's right.
Since Tango was in the cage, she would have been able to defend herself.
but...
If this is a murder weapon, would the culprit attack Tango in the cage? Blade can fit through the gaps in the cage to put through the net.
That's true.
It's just 3 feet high. If you were to stab Tango with a 6-inch blade, depend on Tango's posture, but I don't think it's impossible. Posture is the question. Whether it's not possible, but we're pretty damn sure she was killed from underneath anyway. At least I am. The sickle would also allow it to be able to go into the back and still the back neck will still be her position.
Hey,
If the weapon's down here, the culprit must have thrown it away, right?
That's true.
As for killing Tango, the culprit with the sickle under the floor in the dark. It went under the floor the entire time. Either of those is possible. Blood dripping the gaps in the floorboards. Fresh blood is definitely Tango's. Dry blood? Now that I was not expecting. There's blood stain on the ground underneath the loose floorboard. It's very far from where Tango's body's dripping down. It's the same floorboard, just at different ends. A bunch of blood here.
hey,
The back of this floorboard has blood on it too.
Ah,
Right, there's a little bit of blood on the other side of this floorboard.
what do you mean?
Did Tango's blood splatter here when she got killed? No, because this blood is dry.
that's true.
I wonder, I can't really be sure yet.
Okay.
Blood stains here are completely dry. So for some reason these particular stains are dry.
Ah,
Part of the crosspiece is of course the floorboard is cut off.
That's true.
So the loose floorboard and the portion is missing about the same width too. All I can see of it,
that's true.
it's broken off naturally. This was cut by someone. We sold this in the warehouse, so they could have used that. Which is why. Another crosspiece is from the floorboard, so it might not fall if this portion is missing.
Then,
What purpose does this serve? Over underneath Tango's body is loose and the crosspiece supporting is cut. Whoever did all of this and why? Alright, anything else I'm missing here? Might be, no, so I got the cut crosspiece. Same thing. Guess I should examine the wall. Let's see. The wood is corroded, is broken off, so you can see it's the next room.
hey,
This is the wall, the empty room, right? Looks like there's water on the wall. As far as right away. Looks like natural rot. This hole is made intentionally. I get into the next room through here.
That's true.
Remember correctly, the room next door is also empty, right? The culprit could have gone from room to room by moving under here instead of the hallway.
No.
True, but it would have been difficult moving around on the floor. You're right to see a light without that being pitch black. Maybe it could possibly move around in there.
Nope.
They could use a light like we were doing right now.
Well,
True. So a light can move around on the floor, is that possible? Yeah, because they're Tibo's eyeballs.
is that alright?
Maki, you want to head back up? The gas was starting to get fed up with this dust. After Maki and I crawled out from under the floor, we put the floorboards back. We returned to our investigation.
By the way,
If you look at investigating this room, you sure that's wise?
Huh?
You mean?
because
The ancient tank of different killers that the black vote for is...
You're right.
But for the first murder, the culprit killed Angie. As Monokuma said.
then
Instead of investigating Tango's death, should we investigate Angie's?
Okay,
Yes, of course.
but
This is bigger than the killing game for the sake of the people who died. We reveal the truth of both their deaths. I understand why you feel that way, but when I'm investigating the other crimes in the game, you should probably hurry. I came to the hallway. It seemed more surprising than I could ever imagine unfolded. Okay.
It's a lie!
Of course. Did I surprise you? Were you about to scream crying tear?
huh?
What are you doing?
Oh?
Oh, sorry, I'm just a little lightheaded from the blood loss. Yes, this is real blood.
Why?
Okay, so what are you doing? I'm curious about something, so I decided to search the empty room next door. Then suddenly, I stepped to the floorboard.
Huh?
Stepped to the floorboard?
That's so mean.
That got me good, because this I tripped and fell pretty hard.
got a minute?
For once, I think he's telling the truth. Going to lose consciousness, do it after you tell us everything.
Ah.
Sorry, my bad. I guess there was no crossbeam supporting this floorboard, so I kind of stepped through. What bad luck. Crossbeam was gone? Does that mean...
Huh?
Of course.
Confidence! Dreams! That's what the Killing Game is all about! Killing Game fans! Hold your head high and watch with your own two eyes! Baseball, soccer, mobile games! They're all nothing compared to the Killing Game! The Killing Game just can't be beat!
Get to the point, please.
Behold, students! The entrance to the trial grounds!
That's what I thought. So no more investigating. I guess time's up.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just you guys. I didn't have enough time to check something.
Huh?
What are you trying to check?
See?
I wanted to re-research the seance again, so I brought this document with me. But unfortunately,
Yeah.
I find anything new that could be used as a clue. Can you perfectly reenact the seance as what was written in the document? Just match circle the same exact way as this picture. Look at that, he uses the same exact tools too. That's suspicious about this whole thing. I wanted to check the fire details, but I'll tell you about it later. At the class trial, so see you there. Oh boy. Kichi with the blood loss really affecting his bit. Bloody Kokichi has been added to the treatment section of your monopad. Bloody Kokichi is right. Let's go too.
That's true.
Yeah, okay. Is Maku nervous? See, so she gets nervous
Do you
sometimes.
want to die?
You're staring if you want to die. Well. Can't remember if I'm allowed to warp or not. So obviously a crawl space beneath the floor was used. The sickle explains how Tango was able to be stabbed in the back of the neck. The loose floorboard explains the crash we heard. I got no idea who the killer is on this one. Either the killers, assuming there's two. There's no guarantee that there's two. For Tanko, I can pretty much rule out anyone else in that person. Opening the door would have let light in. Right, before I forget, here we go. Alright. I don't know if I can buy something else. Is there anything else worth it? So this is be the reticle. This is be the reticle. So I can actually grab these, or rather, oh, I see. Okay. Turn the screen will light up more frequently. Yes, add that. Did I not have that set during the last trial? Did I buy this and not set them? Let's see. Real speed points. Let's all conversations except those who echoes on. That may be useful. So we silences loud voices. Keyword in the first star. Vibrates clear. I'm setting that one. That seems useful. And to the trial we go.
Oh dear.
It appears we have all gathered, but it seems there are less and less of us.
Oh.
Less friends mean it that much harder to solve mystery.
Don't worry.
Don't worry, I'm sure you've gotten a little smart by now, Gonda. Yeah, Gonda do his best to help. When you graduate from super idiot level to at least Kaido idiot level. Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
Are you okay?
More importantly, are you okay, Kaido?
Ah.
Yeah, I'm feeling better now, but wow, Rock and Roll sure is packed a punch.
I don't know.
It's your fault. You don't worry about our dwindling numbers, only dipshits have died so far.
That being said,
That's a tall order, but try to use your brains this time so I don't have to use mine.
booyah!
Skull and brain cells of mine are gifts to the entire world.
Unacceptable.
So every time you open your mouth, it becomes less likable.
Rest in peace.
Atua, please lend us your power.
But
It may be difficult for us to rely on Atua. So what happened to Angie, whom Atua loved most of all?
well, you know.
Should have relied on Atua in the first place. Seriously, it's kind of funny seeing a robot believe in God, especially Atua.
I also.
So what, robots can believe in God?
Indeed.
Actually, before I even met Angie, I had a similar experience. Hearing voices, I mean. Go ahead and inner voice it. Tell us what to do whenever I'm in trouble.
Got a minute?
What are you going to say that for? Don't go so matter right now.
Jeez.
Yeah, the trial this time is going to be rough. We got caught in this trap.
Huh?
This trap?
That's right.
Probably made the fourth floor so scared on purpose to prevent me from investigating.
Oh, right already.
No, he didn't. Actually, he might have.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way.
Hey, so...
Shuichi, say something.
Huh?
What should I say? Well... Rumble, rumble, rumble! As usual, walk toward the elevator in silence. As soon as we remaining survivors step aboard, we descended. Perhaps because there are fewer of us, the elevator seemed to move faster. So we fell faster and faster downward into the black. The elevator stopped, and just like always, the doors parted slowly. The light that shines on us from the other side, the bright light of our future. Or is it?
Uh-oh.
Wait, they look really depressed. Must be because there's even less participants now. Don't they look depressed? You'll make Monodum sad. So what guess Monodum kills Monotaru next? As much as I love to keep hearing that historical back and forth,
Damn it!
let's hurry up and get this started.
Extreme!
At last, the class trial begin. I hope you enjoy to your heart's content. The third class trial is about to begin. Angie Unaga, the ultimate artist. Created the Ultimate Academy Student Council tried to prevent the villain game. Then, Tenko Chabashira, the Ultimate Aikido Master. She hated men, but I knew that she hated this terrible Pony before. Two who were killed were both trying to stop the killing. Who was the one who killed them? Was it one person? Two different people? We need to pin that down in this class trial. If we're to live, we have to find the truth. And I'll fight for it. Fight with the truth and lies in this class trial. Yes, I want to save. So I'm dreading the perjury part of this, because the perjury part I am bad at. Ugh. I set my skills. In-class trial. God, I need to remember the controls.
Ahem. Now then, let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. During the trial, you'll present your arguments for who the culprit is, and vote for who done it. Vote correctly, and only the blackened will be punished. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will graduate from this academy. Also, refusing to vote will result in your death, so you better vote for someone. Now, smiles, everyone! It's showtime! Let's get this crazy awesome trial underway!
Sorry, everyone.
I don't think I'm gonna be much help this time.
You've never been much help.
Because of Monokuma's disruptions, I couldn't do a thorough investigation.
I can tell Monokuma is overcompensating to hide a self-consciousness.
Next time, spend less time fixing your hair and more time investigating, spaceman!
Shut up! I don't need to hear some comedy act from you two weirdos.
That
Who
was
did
something.
it? Who killed Angie and Tenko?
Do not let your emotions hasten your judgment. There may be two killers.
I personally don't think there are.
Our other culprit might not be one of us here.
Is she acting like Angie?
Hmm? What do you mean?
The transfer student. Maybe our resurrected transfer student dragged Angie and Tenko into the grave.
Stop it! Stop making stuff up!
Say something, Shuichi. It'll be a mess if this keeps going on.
Is it even possible for a revived corpse to be the culprit? In the interest of being thorough, I should clear things up here. Alright, let's see. Monokuma file, forehead injury,
This crime was committed by the recently deceased. They came back to life and killed 2 of our classmates.
No!
shooting the wrong
So,
button, actually.
ritual did work?
Who was resurrected, I wonder?
Angie did say she was gonna bring Rantaro back. Yes. Rantaro was resurrected. The culprit is the late Rantaro Amami!
Please, stop it!
It's about believing reviving the dead. I have to focus on their statements. Those things correct. Upside down. Warwax refugees. There'd be no way of knowing it was Rentaro. In that case.
This crime was committed by the recently
Necronomicon. Parent effigy of the dead soul wishing to contact your roommate's fate decided to shoot effigies are irrelevant. Burn this Necronomicon to ash. Necronomicon was never burned. It was never completed. That's what I need. Okay.
They came back to life and killed 2 of our classmates!
No! So, ritual did work?
Who was resurrected, I wonder?
Angie did say she was gonna bring Rantaro back. Yes. Rantaro was resurrected. The culprit is the late Rantaro Amami!
Please, stop it!
I think I know which one he does do as the statement. Alright.
This crime was committed by the recently deceased. They came back to life and killed 2 of our classmates!
No! So, ritual did work?
Oh, come on.
Who was resurrected, I wonder?
Angie did say she was gonna bring
Okay.
Rantaro back.
I don't remember how to slow things down.
Rantaro was resurrected. The culprit is the late Rantaro Amami!
Please, stop it!
This crime was committed by the recently deceased. They came back to life and killed 2 of our classmates!
No! So,
No.
that's wrong!
Probably missed the B point. Ugh.
I don't think Angie's ritual succeeded. According to the Necronomicon Monokuma showed us, you have to burn the Necronomicon in the ritual.
After preparing the effigy, burn this Necronomicon to ashes. Use caution, be mindful of carbon monoxide poisoning. Sprinkle the ashes on the effigy and repeat the name of the deceased 3 times.
If Angie's ritual had succeeded,
the book would have been gone.
So she must have been killed before the ritual was complete, since the book was still intact.
Then, Gonta think Rantaro probably not culprit.
Oh, I guess you're right.
Well, duh. There's no way a dead person could resurrect.
Now hold on a second. I can't let that comment stand. Sure, everybody knows that you can't bring the dead back to life. But it's easy at the Ultimate Academy, as long as you use the Necronomicon.
Okay, so you're adamant that it actually is possible to do this.
What are you talking about? There's no way that's possible.
But it's true. I never lie about motives.
That's actually true. I don't think Monokuma has ever lied about a motive. Not directly. Monokuma will give half-truths.
Daddy said so, so he can't be wrong. Raising the dead is totally possible.
Man, I can't believe you guys wasted such a perfectly good motive. You should have let me use it to bring Monodum back to life.
Monodum's not dead.
Monodum is still alive, though.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't waste a resurrection on Monodum's corpse.
Oh? So resurrecting the dead was actually possible this whole time?
There's no way it's possible!
There's no way that could happen, idiots. Monokuma is trying to confuse us. Let's hurry up and find out who the Blackened is.
If our transfer student isn't the culprit, then blame falls to one of us.
Who? Who did it?
There's enough weird stuff in Danganronpa that I can completely believe it's possible to bring someone back to life in this universe.
Step aside, Half Pint. I'll handle this. I don't know about Tenko, but I'm pretty fucking sure Kyo murdered Angie.
Why?
Don't play dumb with me, creep show. I already know what happened. The culprit used a katana to kill Angie.
Alright, I've got a lot of...
And it was found in Kyo's research lab.
That means nothing.
Which makes you, Kyo, automatically suspicious.
But
Yes, I'll
anyone
agree
could
with
have
that
taken
much.
katana, you see.
So that rusty katana was the murder weapon. You were the only one who cared about that thing, Kyo.
I did
Oh,
not
it does.
care about some katana.
Just admit it, you shit-eating worm. You went to the classroom, broke in, and murdered the fuck out of Angie! Booyah! I'm a fucking genius!
Alright, it's the broke-in one. Before Kyo really the culprit, does that start to back to the case?
The culprit used it.
So you have lockpicking, which only works in the front door.
The katana.
Back door. With sliding lock, when each supply was found, the sliding lock was locked from the inside. It was sliding lock moves that says touch something gold and shiny on the hand.
Wanted to kill Angie. And it was
Stores cylindrical rock. Where each supply is found, the door is locked. If you opened it.
that.
If you had locked yourself in the alternate Ars lab since yesterday, control should not unlock the door unless someone from pursuing the council asked her to. I'm not sure
Found
which
in
one.
Kyo's research lab, which makes you, Kyo, automatically suspicious.
But anyone could have taken that katana, you see.
So that rusty katana was the murder weapon. You were the only one who cared about that thing, Kyo.
I did not care about some katana.
That's not that thing.
Just admit it, you shit-eating worm. You went to the classroom, broke in.
Okay, that's one. Kyo to Kyo not, Angie still would have let me into her lab. No, okay, got it.
I was wrong!
That actually is the right
The
one.
culprit used a katana to kill Angie.
So maybe it's count.
And it was found in Kiyo's research lab. Which makes you, Kiyo, automatically suspicious.
But anyone could have taken that katana, you see.
So that rusty katana was the murder weapon. You were the only one who cared about that thing, Kiyo.
I did not care about Sunka.
Just admit it, you shit-eating worm. You went to the classroom and...
There we go.
That's wrong! No, Kyo would not have been able to enter Angie's lab. Isn't that right, Tsumugi?
Yeah. Before Angie locked herself up in her research lab, she said she wasn't going to open up for anyone but student council members.
And Kyo is not a member. She wouldn't have opened the door for him.
Kiyo couldn't have killed Angie even if he wanted to.
I had no desire to kill her in the first place.
So whoever killed Angie must have been one of the student council members, yeah?
Not necessarily.
I was doing a bit to lead you to the right answer. Can't believe you actually got it.
Oh, how clever.
You can just ignore her, Gonta.
The remaining student council members are Gonta, Kibo, Tsumugi, and Himiko.
I highly doubt it's Gonta. Kibo is possible, but seems unlikely to me. Especially Tsumugi and Himiko.
Well, it can't be Himiko. She was besties with Angie.
That means nothing.
I trust their friendship. You guys do too, right?
I don't know how to feel about
Yeah,
him.
of course.
Can we trust their friendship so readily?
Obviously. Let's believe in them.
That trims our list of suspects down to 3. Gonta, Tsumugi, and Kibo.
Yep. The culprit is one of those 3 people.
You mean one of those 2 people. 'Cause a robot ain't people, Jack.
Really, you're gonna say that. You.
I will let that remark slide. Anyway, aren't these accusations just a tad too hasty?
Hold on, I have a new reaction image.
What the culprit should confess already. Gonta, Keyboy, or Tsumugi? Well,
No, not Gonta. Gonta would never kill Angie.
Yeah, Gonta's a gentleman. You shouldn't suspect either of us.
Hey, stick up for me too.
Gonta definitely not hurt anyone. Torture Gonta if you don't believe.
Torture might be a bit too far, but Gonta and I aren't the culprits.
And I'm not the culprit either. Jeez.
Gonta not the
We're
culprit.
not the culprit.
Alright, so we're doing this already, huh? Ron's back forward. Ron.
We must consider other possibilities. Surely there must be suspects outside the student council.
that's utterly impossible.
A dead chick
Not just
can't be the
anyone can open
culprit.
that door.
It's the lockpick I need, obviously.
Only student council members.
Should've got I still think Kokichi did it, but I have to point out this flaw.
It wasn't just student council members that could have opened that lab door.
What was it you said earlier about Kyo opening the door, Shuichi?
I am glad that I grabbed that one skill.
Unless you're a student council member, you can't enter Angie's lab, right?
I was referring to Kyo. He couldn't have done it, but you could have. Because I saw you open the classroom lock by picking it.
key on the lock.
Oh, that happened? I totally forgot.
Uh-huh.
So you're going to pretend you don't remember, huh?
Quit glaring at me like that. Of course I remember. Yeah, I did it. I killed Angie.
That's a lie.
Wait, what? What did you just say?
I picked the lock to her lab, snuck into the room, and then wham! Killed Angie. The culprit was me, all along.
What?
What are you saying? Is this some kind of joke?
Nah, no joke. I thought that if I confessed, I could atone for my sins. No, I feel so much better. Whew!
Wait, so Kokichi really is culprit?
He's not. He's obviously lying.
No, he's lying. I think. Maybe?
He's lying. I'm certain of it.
No, definitely not a lie. I killed Angie. Shouldn't you guys believe the culprit when they confess?
Then let me ask you, culprit. How did you lock the room?
Huh? Well, it's the same as opening it. You pick the door closed from the outside.
No, that doesn't make sense.
Huh? What doesn't make sense? Can't you lock a door by picking it?
Maybe, but that's not how the culprit locked the room. They used a different method.
Okay.
What different method?
This is where the sword thing comes in, where the goal leaf comes into, I'm guessing.
Yeah, Mumbles. Use your big boy voice and explain yourself.
There were 2 doors to the classroom, and the one locked last was...
The back door.
That's
I'm
it!
gonna press the right button.
The back door. That's how they made this a locked room mystery.
The back door had a sliding lock, yes? How was it locked from the outside?
The culprit used a certain tool.
This is definitely where the sword comes into. Oh, this one? Okay, well, I'm 90% sure that's what I need. Or that or the hill.
I see it!
Got lucky.
The gold leaf katana that was stabbed into Kaede's effigy. The culprit used that to hit the knob of the sliding lock to lock the door.
I don't know if I actually had to have it completely open or not. Maybe it was just seeing it.
So the gold leaf was on the sliding lock
Because when the katana hit the lock, some of the gold leaf rubbed off on it. The gold leaf on that katana did peel rather easily.
That evidence rings a bell. Specifically, a school bell.
Are you going to be talking about the first taste of the first game?
Are you talking about a different school? What school was it?
Yep.
Now, that doesn't matter anymore. Let's not dwell on the past.
Ooh, the gold leaf landed on the sliding lock when the katana touched it. So that means the culprit used the katana to move the sliding lock, right? But wait, how did they move it with the katana? And from outside Angie's lab?
The clue that might give us the answer is the layout of the area itself. It was an odd setup after all.
Yeah, the hanging effigies.
The katana stabbed into the effigy. The effigy's hung upside down.
Angie didn't do that as part of the ritual?
No.
No.
No reason to.
Nowhere in the Necronomicon did it say you had to hang the effigies.
If it was not part of the ritual, then it must have been for a different purpose, right?
Different purpose, what could that have been? For somehow used to set up to lock the room. So you know the reason behind every step of that setup. They do that, wait for the help to lock the room should be clear. Okay, straight to this too. Alright. There we go, okay. Right, I collected the letters to get the questioning, the passengers the answer, Turn the handle, just like lock, that was payday. Assuming that's the question. Yeah, what turned the handle, slide lock? Okay. What turned the handle is the sword. Katana's hilt. Well, we're on the correct side on that. Missing the letters. Alright. Almost done to make the katana turn to lock, stabbing into the effigy. Is my guess. Time was stabbed with the effigy. I would say it's 3 questions, but not certain. Enough, I hang the walls. I was able to manipulate to make the katana effect lock. It was hung. It's hung upside down. Spinning it properly.
It connects!
it back and forth, of course, as well, but still requires spinning.
That's it. The reason the culprit stuck the katana into the effigy was so that it would hit the sliding lock as the effigy spun.
Effigy spun?
That's right. If you spun the effigy, the rope it was hanging from would twist. Then, if you let it go, the rope would unwind and the effigy would spin the other way. And of course, the katana would spin with it.
I see. So the culprit used the katana's counterspin to push the lock into place?
The
Yes.
culprit simply needed to spin the effigy's rope and then swiftly leave. This would cause the spinning katana to hit the sliding lock. And thus was the back door of an empty classroom locked from the inside.
Yes, that's how Angie's lab was locked. By using the effigy with a katana.
A plan born from the heart of a sword traveling through the air to intercept us.
Why are you drooling?
Oh, but couldn't have moved the slide lock so easily?
The sliding lock was pretty loose. A little push could move it. As long as the spinning katana hit the lock, it would have slid into position.
Even if the culprit failed the first couple times, they could keep trying until it locked.
Yes, well, they
Which
think
is
they
why
caught.
the culprit chose to strike at nighttime as to avoid detection.
Yes, since the student council prohibited anyone from walking around at nighttime.
Are you saying it's the student council's fault?
It's not solely their fault, but yes, it is their fault.
I didn't say that.
In any case, the culprit probably used the murder
I am
weapon
saying
for this
that.
trick. It had to have been the right length to hit the sliding lock from the effigy.
The culprit couldn't find a blade long enough in their lab, so they settled for the katana.
The other effigies were only hung up so we think it was some kind of ceremony. That way, we wouldn't notice the lock trick.
But Kokichi did say earlier that he could have picked the lock closed. I don't want to completely ignore that possibility. But I can't imagine the culprit would have done all this just for a distraction.
Yeah, that'd be kind of
If
ridiculous.
that's the case, then Kokichi's confession earlier was actually...
A lie, which is just surprised no one at
Seriously?
this point.
You fucking lied again?
Cough it up, Kokichi!
Man, you guys got me. Okay, I'm not the culprit.
You're telling the truth this time, right?
Who
I
knows?
want to say I'm lying, but I'm not.
Why did you say you were the culprit?
I wanted to lure the culprit out. If I claimed to be the culprit, then the real culprit would agree as well. You get me? And if they pressured me to confess, then that would have looked mighty suspicious. Sheesh. Darn it. It didn't go my way because Shuichi butted in on my plan.
I have no clue if he's telling the truth on that or not. I do think he's meant to actually have compulsive lying disorder, which is a real disorder.
You and your fucking lies! Go sit in the corner and play with yourself!
Okay, I'll start right now.
See, this would be the perfect time to use the reaction image I just got the screenshot of.
Alright, so who's the asshole who set up this locked room mystery?
You can't hold it up anymore.
What's the matter? You going soft on me now?
Who made the locked room mystery doesn't matter since anyone could have done it. Don't you even understand something as basic as that, you filthy cum dumpster?
Wow, was not expecting to actually say that.
Come, dumpster! Finally!
What?
What should we talk about now?
Anything but what she just said. Anything.
We must focus not on the locked room, but on who entered Angie's lab. Only one of the student council members or Kokichi could have gained entry. Therefore, the culprit must be among their number.
That leaves us with 4 suspects. Tsumugi, Gonta, Kibo, and Kokichi.
And Himiko. And possibly, Tenko.
Don't forget Himiko. She's also a part of the student council.
Yes, thank you.
Doesn't matter
You're
if
the
she
one
was
who brought it
besties
up.
with Angie, she's still a suspect.
It's your fault that she got forgotten about in the first place.
That contradicts what you said earlier, which I can prove using my recording function.
It's fine. It's just a waste of time.
A suspect? Never kill Angie!
So, calling all suspects, what should we discuss next? I want to hear everyone's opinion. What would you say to get yourself off the suspect list?
Why are you trying to lead the debate? You're a suspect too.
Does Angie just have angel wings and a halo instead of the usual cross?
Silence, outsider. Only the suspect rangers are allowed to speak.
Suspect rangers.
Suspect rangers?
I agree. Those under suspicion should explain themselves thoroughly.
We might catch them with their pants down!
Will you please stop talking?
Anyway, I want to ask the suspect rangers. What should we talk about? What should we say to get ourselves off the suspect list? Well, guys, I want to hear what you think.
That's sort of a difficult question, you know?
Gonta not smart enough to know answer to that.
Yes, it is difficult to formulate a logical response to that question.
Not articulate with words, huh? Don't you guys want to prove your innocence?
I mean, you haven't actually answered your own question either.
They don't trust you one bit, and I don't blame them. You're probably plotting.
Why did Tenko have to die?
Huh?
I want to know what happened to Angie too, but... Can we talk about Tenko's case now and not just Angie's?
I got you exactly where I wanted, Himiko.
What do you mean?
The 2 victims could have been killed by 2 separate murderers, you know. So we need to find the first Blackened responsible for the first victim.
Record, I don't think there were 2 different murderers. But I'm not going to do a
Gotta figure out
possibility.
who killed Angie. Until we solve Angie's case, Tenko's case is meaningless. Did you suggest that to waste our time?
It's not meaningless!
Mika?
Tenko's death was meaningless? How dare you! Poor Tenko! How could you do this to her?
Himiko, stop it with your crappy lies.
Lies?
Everything you said is total BS. You didn't give 2 shits about Tenko when she was alive. But now you're like, oh no, poor Tenko, after she's dead. Come on, really?
Kokichi, enough!
No. It's okay. It's no surprise you think that.
It really isn't.
I know I ignored Tenko before. That's why I'm so upset now. I should have faced Tenko. Worked things out with her while she was still alive. But now, it's too late. I can't complain to her or thank her. It's too late.
Yeah, seriously. It's way too late to realize that now. Our only option is to face her death head on.
death?
Himiko, I understand what you're going through. So I'm gonna help you out. Let's work together to find the truth. I'm not gonna let anyone say her death didn't matter.
Kaito. Alright. I'll put a silencing curse on whoever calls Tenko's death meaningless. The name of the curse is... Death Curse!
Why is that the silencing one?
I, suppose being dead would silence someone pretty good.
Listen up! All you guys are gonna help out too. Abandoning someone who died and only thinking about your own survival. That's just as bad as a hit and run! I won't forgive something so messed up!
Tenko was our friend. Gonta want to know why she died too.
I already told you that's so unnecessary. We're getting sidetracked here.
No, even if it was a different culprit, we need to know how Tenko died. If we don't find out who killed her, we won't be able to work together. Not now, not ever. Even if this trial isn't for her, in order for us to survive, we need to get to the bottom of Tenko's death. Not just to survive this trial, but so we can keep going and live on!
I know.
Finally, you noticed. Jeez, you're so slow.
It's just like Kokichi's annoying, but he's not stupid. You would know that you'd have to know who the other one is, or you just distrust everyone the entire time.
Huh?
As much
Did
as he
Kokichi
says
want
about
us
not
to
wanting to
notice-
trust other people, he wants to trust other people.
Don't listen to his crap. We haven't decided whether there were two different culprits yet.
Let us talk about Tenko's case then. Perhaps that will provide us a clue.
Yeah, maybe.
They're not wrong, but I don't mind going over Tenko's case. Wasn't that abrupt change of topic? Was that intentional?
So what do we talk about first?
For now, let's see if we can narrow down the list of suspects.
Tancrotch probably got killed during the seance, so everyone there's suspicious.
Actually, everyone there is the one who has an alibi.
Tancrotch!
Who attended the seance? Gorokyu, Shuichi, Himiko, Kokichi. Oh! Kiba was technically there. It was us 5. Yeah, but you said who was there, not who participated. So it's Gorokyu, Shuichi, Himiko, and Kokichi.
That's it! It was me, Kyo, Himiko, and Kokichi.
For record, my answer was the correct one.
So those
Based on the
4 are the
question.
culprits!
Oh, Himiko's still culprit?
Well, that's probably just a coinkydink. The most suspicious out of the 4 is really
You're gonna say Kyo, aren't you?
Kyo. He suggested the whole seance idea.
True, I may have suggested it, but I explained the procedure beforehand, yes? If we all knew of it before the murder, then we are all equally suspicious.
Well, I suppose, but...
In addition, the seance wasn't entirely in my control either. I was not the one who selected the room we performed it in. It was Himiko.
Oh yeah. So of your rooms, which one should we use? The middle room. The middle room's always best for stuff like this. Well, I should begin preparations at once. Yeah.
Oh,
I completely forgot about that.
right.
Also, we should not limit our suspects to only those who participated in the seance. The empty room had a point of entry from outside, you see.
Moving entry from outside, you must be referring to this, right? Floorboards under Tenko were loose. We might have gone under the floor to enter. It was the top of the entire seance, so like the floorboards were used. Oh, come on. That was definitely the right answer. I'm just not They just don't want you to use it yet. It's another location that we could have entered next
Damn it.
area. Alright, you're talking about the hole in the wall then. There. Didn't even let me.
Damn it!
You're not even letting me pick that, so. Oh, it's just picky. Okay.
There!
You're talking about under the floor, right?
Huh? Under the floor?
Okay, so I have to write on the floorboard, just not yet.
Yes, there's a crawl space under the floor a person can move through. There was also a hole that connected it to the neighboring room.
If the culprit used the hole, they could have entered and exited the seance room.
If we consider that possibility, then there is another suspect.
Another suspect? Who?
It's appearing before me.
The other suspect that'd be most likely would be Kibo.
Oh, I can see it clearly. The true identity of Tenko's killer. The culprit sneaked in during the seance by crawling under the floor.
How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, our human had a light.
Light? You mean candle?
I mean, Kibo's flashlight function. Huh?
Now, hold on a second.
Kibo could have used that function to get under the floor and sneak into the empty room during the seance.
I said, hold on a second.
He used his robot functions to commit the murders.
Hold on a second.
True that with a little light you could run the floor. It's not possible.
The culprit sneaked in.
Oh, it's a blinding light. It's too bright.
And during the seance, by crawling under the floor.
But it was pitch black during the seance. How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, our villain had a light.
Light? You mean candle?
I mean, Kibo's flashlight function.
Huh? Now, hold on a second.
Kibo could have used that function to get
No,
under the
okay.
floor.
Oh, come on. Rid of corpse, nothing more. Round.
Oh no!
So that wasn't it.
The culprit sneaked in during the seance by crawling under the floor.
But it was pitch black during the seance.
Not that one.
How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, our villain had a light.
Light? You mean candle?
I mean, Kibo's flashlight function.
Huh? Now, hold on a second.
Kibo could have used that function to get under the floor and sneak into the empty room during the seance.
I said, hold on a second.
He used his robot functions to commit the murders.
Hold on a second.
A little light you run under the floor. Is that possible?
The culprit sneaked
Alright, so blinding light.
in.
Who's floorboard? So that was before the seance. A child. 5 people in spirit. Special force you can see was dropped there.
During the seance to the floor.
I have no clue what the hell wants from me.
It's black during the seance. How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, our villain had a light.
Light? You mean candle?
Trying it. Nope.
I mean, Kibo's flashlight function.
Huh? Now, hold on a second.
Kibo could have used that function to get under the floor and sneak into the empty room during the seance.
I said hold on a second.
He used his robot functions to commit the murders.
Hold on a second.
I have no clue what to do on this one.
The culprit sneaked in during the seance by crawling under the floor.
But it was pitch black during the seance.
It's a blinding light, you can see it.
How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, villain had a light.
Yeah, that didn't work.
The culprit sneaked in during the seance by crawling under the floor.
The caged child I need then?
But it was pitch black during the seance. How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, our villain had a
Okay,
light.
that was a shot.
Oh no!
The culprit sneaked in during the seance by
At this point, I just have to try everything, because I have no clue what the hell works.
you, our villain. Kiba.
Now, hold on.
Could have used that under the floor.
Yeah, that doesn't work, alright.
Damn it! The culprit sneaked in during the seance.
There must be something else I'm missing.
By crawling under the floor.
But it was pitch black during the seance. How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, villain had a light.
That's wrong!
Right, we've seen the light in the hole in the wall. That's what I had mixed up.
I don't think the culprit could have used a light while under the floor. There was a hole in the corner of the room. If a light were used, it would have leaked through and we would have seen it.
It makes sense once I realize it.
God, when we did the seance, the room was definitely pitch black.
So a light was not shined under the floor, which means you cannot claim I am the culprit.
Jeez, here I thought this would be the case where the murder could only be done by a robot.
You have accused me of being the culprit more than once now, simply because I am a robot. My status as a robot does not mean I am capable of performing superhuman feats. My vision is somewhat poor, and I only possess average physical strength and intelligence.
All right, you made your point. God, now I feel sort of bad for you.
Honestly, me too.
I neither want nor need your pity.
Enough with the flashlight! It's way too bright!
It would have been difficult to move around under the floor in that pitch black darkness. Maybe the floor and the hole have nothing to do with this case.
Then why was floorboard under Tenko lined up funny? Going to think that was so culprit could stab Tenko from under floor.
Both of this right.
See?
Nice observation, Gonta. Are you finally getting used to the class trials?
Uh-huh. Thank you.
Don't say it like that. You're better off not being used to this kind of stuff.
Maybe they marked Tenko with glowing paint and looked for that. That'd let the culprit find her. Then they could stab her through the floorboards.
Boy, that sounds really familiar too. But I'm just gonna ignore it.
That'd be the first trial of the second game.
Her corpse didn't have any trace of glowing paint, though.
Oh, yeah. So then why was that floorboard loose?
The loose floorboard was the one under Tenko, right? If the culprit used it while she was still alive, she'd totally notice.
Who fucking cares? Fussing over that won't get us closer to the culprit!
We shouldn't dismiss this line of inquiry, however. Instead of butting our heads against this, how about we concentrate on another issue?
What other issue?
Perhaps first, we should figure out how and when exactly Tenko was killed.
When? So not during seance?
No, I'm pretty sure it's
Tenko
definitely
was
with
in
a
the metal
seance.
cage for the whole seance, wasn't she? How could someone have gotten to her there?
Maybe the culprit killed her before she went under the metal cage.
Not possible.
That's not possible. She was alive at that point.
When the return Tenko at this point mustn't speak. Something open your mouth, it would be anxious speaking through you. And then she will not say a word until it's over. She was under at that
Yes.
point.
She was
Something's way too heavy
unmistakably
to
alive
move.
when the seance began.
That was right before we blew out the candles. But when the light came back...
The floorboard was removed at that point, so it's likely she was already dead then.
So she was killed when the room was dark?
But she was inside Cage, right? Going to think it impossible to kill her then.
But she wasn't killed when the room was dark. It was a different time.
A different time?
How the fuck should I know? You figure it out, shitheads.
Yeah, Sethko knows coming. Alright.
Since Gonta said it was impossible, I'm proposing an alternate theory. Now hurry up and think! If you want to make my golden brain tingle, start circle jerking your lipstick brains!
Will you please stop talking?
When Tenko got killed, it wasn't during the seance.
It could not have been done at any other time. She was under the cage, though. And she was dead when the cage was lifted.
What about moment Cage was lifted?
That's why I need to
Like
fight.
that.
When Cage lifted, culprit stabbed Tenko real fast. So fast, no one saw.
Oh my!
Why are you getting
So
off
who
on
lifted the
this?
cage?
It was me.
Then obviously Himiko is the culprit!
There's no sit down!
Tenko not being killed in the seance? Might not be possible, there's no evidence for it.
When Tenko got killed, it wasn't during the seance.
It could not have been done at
It's gotta be the white sheet, right? Because there's blood under it. Yeah, splatter with no hole in the fabric.
any other time. She was under the cage, though. And she was dead when the cage was lifted.
What about moment Cage was lifted? That's wrong!
Okay, good, I had that one right.
No, it wasn't possible to kill her the moment the cage was lifted.
because the inside of the white cloth had Tenko's blood on it. That cloth was removed before the cage was lifted. If Tenko was stabbed then, there wouldn't be blood on the cloth.
Again, the blows underneath the
How
cloth.
could my golden brain be wrong when it felt so right?
The only possibility is that Tenko was killed during the seance.
I got your remodel right here!
Alright, I know this is coming. This is sword one.
No, it's still wrong to think that Tenko was killed during the seance.
What?
I'm gonna prove it right now. My golden brain is gonna go all out!
Yep, this is sword one. Alright.
Tenko died after the seance. It happened when the sheet was lifted. That was the moment the culprit chose to stab the fuck out of Tenko through the cage! They stepped the thin blade through the gap, and that clean white sheet got stained blood red! Tenko died after the seance. It happened when the sheet was lifted. That was the moment the culprit chose to stab the fuck out of Tenko through the cage! They stepped the thin blade through the gap, and that clean white sheet got stained blood red!
Alright, it's
But
got
the weapon was a sickle. Only the blade could have fit through the gaps.
The blade's all you need. If you stick the blade through a gap in the cage, it'd be long enough to reach Tenko.
No, it would not.
Sitting in there with her neck all exposed. She wasn't that far from the cage's gap. In which case, the person who lifted the sheet is the culprit, and that's none other than Kyo!
Alright, so it might be the marker stone?
The blade's all you need.
It'll be crouched over an iron cage report. Yep, that's it.
If you stick the blade through a gap in the cage, it'd be long enough to reach Tenko. Sitting in there with her neck all exposed. She wasn't that far from the cage's gap. In which case, the person who lifted the sheet is the culprit. And that's none other than Kyo!
Alright, I know which one I need to cut then. Alright.
The blade's all you need. If you stick the blade through a gap in the cage, it'd be long enough to reach Tenko. Sitting in there with her neck all exposed.
There it is, okay.
I'll cut through your words.
I had to be sure it's the right one. I probably put that quicker, but
Wait just a minute. Tenko wasn't sitting down inside the cage. She was bent over with her forehead against the marker stone, and the cage itself was about 3 feet tall. The sickle's blade was too short to reach Tenko while she was in that position.
Then I messed up again? How could this happen? I am so embarrassed.
No worries, Mew. Everyone already knows you're an embarrassment to the human race.
Yeah, no worries.
How embarrassing!
If Shuichi is right, then it's impossible for Tenko to have been killed through the cage.
She couldn't have been killed during the seance since she was in the cage, right?
no, she could have been killed during the seance.
If she was
Or
killed
she had to
then,
have been.
the cloth over the cage would have been pierced.
Not during the seance or from below the floor. Then it's impossible, isn't it?
Yeah, for a living person.
Huh?
Not this again.
What if Angie's spirit killed Tenko?
What are you talking about? That's not possible!
You don't know that. Some things are impossible for a human, but not for a spirit.
Don't say stupid stuff like that! Screw spirits!
Stop that now. Angie's spirit killed Tenko? Why?
He's gonna say Tenko killed Angie, isn't he?
Himiko?
Why would Angie's spirit kill Tenko?
What if Tenko killed Angie, and then Angie's spirit came back for revenge?
Like I said, that's impossible! Spirits can't be culprits!
Then explain how the culprit killed Tenko under these impossible circumstances.
Well,
You know what I just realized the marker was? It was the cross section, the crossboard.
See? You can't explain, can you? Only a spirit could have done that!
wait! I know! What if the culprit was hiding inside the cage?
Not possible.
If they were in there, they could have stabbed Tenko during the seance!
No. If there was someone else in the cage, we would have noticed.
I agree with Kaito. The culprit could have been inside the cage.
Say what?
Nonsense. There was no space in the cage for the culprit to hide.
Maybe the culprit wouldn't need to hide in the first place.
What?
Also, the culprit could have killed her in the cage at any time. I think you know what I'm getting at, right?
The they she's referring to. What? You mean Miko? Suspecting me? Never called Tenko. I didn't think that was right, but I mean... You could kill Tenko inside the cage at any time. If you really narrow my for detect, this doesn't make any sense. This one I'm just confused on.
Oh no!
You don't actually want me to do this, right? This is stupid. Maybe just ghosts? Okay.
I was wrong!
Which leads to me.
I was wrong!
Wait, are you doing that annoying ass? You're not doing this, are you?
I was wrong!
I mean, I've kind of done just about everyone.
I was wrong!
Yeah, I don't understand this one.
I was wrong! Damn it!
That literally leaves Kaito.
Damn it!
I select everyone. Need to make mistakes. I think I did it. Waiting already. This next one's mandatory, so let's get over with. It's voting time.
Is this really the end?
You try.
We can't let it end here. Wait just a minute. Tenko wasn't sitting down inside. She was bent over with her forehead against the marker stone.
Oh, I see what she's getting at. Okay,
And the cage
I get it
itself, the
now.
sickle's blade was...
She's the possibility of Tenko being the killer. Okay. But I don't think that's right. I have to acknowledge the possibility.
See? You can't explain, can you? Only a spirit could have done
Wait!
that!
I know!
I think 2 inside the box. One person's entirely inside the cage the entire time.
I believe Maki is referring to Tenko herself.
What did you say?
It's embarrassing it took me that long.
Are you saying Tenko is the culprit?
She committed suicide.
Suicide?
If she committed suicide, it would explain a lot of things we couldn't figure out. She volunteered to be in the cage and then stabbed herself during the seance. It didn't matter how dark the room was.
But the sickle she was stabbed with was under the floor, right?
Loose floorboard.
If Tenko had stabbed herself, wouldn't the sickle still be inside the cage?
Oh my god. Mew actually said something smart.
Please don't let it be that Tenko was the killer, then killed herself, so the black is already dead.
Perhaps that explains why the floorboard was removed. After stabbing herself with the sickle, she threw it underneath the floor.
So she took off the floorboard to get rid of the sickle?
Yes, that makes sense, Dagonta.
Well, it doesn't make sense to me. There's no reason for Tenko to commit suicide.
There is one.
Maybe I wasn't too far off with the theory I had earlier. You know, about Tenko killing Angie.
Yeah?
Because Tenko and Angie were fighting for your attention, right?
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at
Tenko's
right now.
pent-up frustration led her to commit such an atrocity. Her conscience couldn't handle it anymore, so she decided to end her own life.
What?
I want to say he's wrong, but I can't rule out the possibility.
But if she was gonna kill herself, why do it during the seance?
She wanted to hide the truth of her suicide.
Really? Why?
There could only be one reason to hide it in a killing game, right? It's to take us down with her.
That's the part where I don't believe it.
Take us down?
She wanted us to pick the wrong answer during the class trial, so she could bring us all down. She wanted us to die with her.
Alright,
Okay, well, she probably just wanted Himiko to die with her, but still.
we're getting to the Persian point,
What
aren't
are
we?
you saying? Tenko wasn't like that. She told me.
She's not gonna live life with these words. She's not with me and everyone else.
What if all of that was just a lie?
A lie?
Wait, we should believe Tenko's last words.
The true terror of class trials is that you shouldn't believe everything said.
Himiko, you said that Tenko would never do anything like that. But how can you be so sure? Did you guys actually know each other? People keep all sorts of secrets. Like Maki. She hid the fact that she's a cold-blooded killer. Is it wise of us to trust other people wholeheartedly in this kind of situation?
I hate it when he's right.
Jeez, you're such a naive dude.
Naive?
We're all just people, you know? Of course we're gonna have some secrets. What matters is whether there's any malice behind them.
People can lie about how malicious their hidden secrets really are.
Well, duh. It's impossible to know for sure what others are thinking. That's why it all comes down to whether or not you believe in yourself. If you get betrayed, it's not their fault. It's your fault for believing in them. That's why I believed in Maki Roll, because I wanted to believe in her.
My head hurts.
Just because you're acting all cool doesn't mean you get to skip training.
Hey, come on. Don't you think you're being a little too strict?
Well, we come from different backgrounds. So for now, let's agree to disagree. No one's ever called me naive before. And from Kaito? Seriously?
For record, I'm more on PG side on this one.
Whether or not I believe, my heart can't reach people anymore. But I want to believe in her. She wouldn't commit suicide. She wouldn't try to take us down. That's what I want to believe.
Me too. Gonta no can believe Tenko commits suicide.
But if Tenko did commit suicide, that would answer all of our questions.
If you insist we believe in Tenko, then provide a reason to do so.
Alright, is this the scrim? Proper reason.
All right, I'll give you a reason.
Is there a reason?
I'm not sure there is.
Yes, there is. Will you trust me, Maki?
Still no, I have no idea what the hell this was about. Knock for neck. Deep, but not enough to kill immediately. That's probably the important part.
If it turns out I'm wrong, you can blame me all you like. But for now, I need you to trust in my detective work.
Nobody think of kill herself is what she said. I'll see you guys after the seance. Right. Said see you guys after. I doubt she had a sudden change of heart. Still don't know how she was killed. Doesn't mean that was suicide. Shouldn't be satisfied with that, and if he thinks we'll find the truth. That means we have to believe in Tenko. I'll make them all believe. Alright,
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her. So she hid her true intentions.
Tenko's not that kind of person! But if Tenko did commit suicide, it would explain how she died during the seance. She could have secretly grabbed the sickle and then stabbed herself with it.
Finally, with the last of her strength, she threw the sickle underneath the floor.
should be able to throw away in time, no? I suppose also deficit instinct. Okay, so not there.
So far, suicide seems to be the best.
Tenko's last moments. Aged child.
Her plan was to take us down with her. So she hid her true intentions.
Tenko's not that kind of person!
If Tenko did commit suicide, it would explain how she died during the seance.
She could have secretly brought the sickle.
I don't think she could have. I don't know how to do this. Nope. Sit on their clothes.
Oh no!
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her. So she hid her true intentions.
Tenko's not that kind of person!
But if Tenko did commit suicide, it would explain how she died during the seance.
She could have secretly brought the sickle.
I didn't think so.
Oh no!
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down.
Is that it? No. Of course not.
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her. So she hid her true intentions.
Tenko's not that kind of person!
But if Tenko did commit suicide, it would explain how she died during the seance.
She could have secretly brought the sickle. And then stabbed herself with it!
Finally, with the last of
That
them,
one didn't get it.
Damn it!
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down.
I have no clue how you
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down.
Oh no!
So far,
It's because the bear was dropped?
Explain how she died during the seance.
She could have secretly brought the sickle.
so far,
I have no clue what the right answer is, so I'm just bullshitting everything. It'll make sense to me once I have it. Until then,
Damn it!
I swear I
so
tried
far,
everything.
suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us.
Ah,
So she hid her true intentions.
that's the problem.
So
They do
far,
all
suicide
things, so I
seems to
don't
be
know
the
what
best
the right
explanation.
is.
Her plan was to take us down. So she hid her true intentions.
Tenko's not that kind of person!
Oh, I think I
But
know
if
what
Tenko
to do.
did
Okay.
commit suicide, it would explain
That's
how
right,
she died
yeah,
during the seance.
She could have secretly brought the sickle. And then stabbed herself with it!
finally, with the last.
I always
Yep.
feel the truth.
I hate the perjury. I hate the perjury. That's why I'm screwing up. 'Cause I hate the
Tenko
freaking
couldn't have thrown
perjury.
the sickle under the floor.
So I had to lie about the wound.
Because she died instantly.
Instantly?
Maki knows I'm lying.
I'm certain of it. My investigation determined that she died instantly.
What's your opinion, Maki? I'd like to hear from someone who specializes in murder.
Maki.
You're right. I completely forgot about that important detail.
Okay, she's actually going to do the perjury with me. Alright.
Tenko died instantly.
What?
As an assassin, I specialize in killing my targets swiftly. I have no doubt that Tenko was killed immediately.
Words of a true killer. Pretty sure we can believe everything she said.
Thank you, Maki.
How could you forget that, Maki Roll? You better apologize to Shuichi.
It's okay, Kaito, really. No apology necessary. Anyway, Tenko died so suddenly that she couldn't have gotten rid of the sickle. Knowing that, the theory that she killed herself just doesn't fit, correct?
Just like I thought. Tenko wouldn't commit suicide.
Thank goodness, Himiko.
Which means someone definitely killed Tenko during the seance.
Her suicide was considered because we could not determine how she was killed.
No! There must have been a way! We're gonna figure it out!
Did any of the participants witness anything peculiar during the seance? If you know something, please speak up. It could be the key to solving this mystery.
No idea. We should remember what happened in seance. I'm sure something. We gotta do that help solve this mystery. I really do hate this stupid perjury thing. I hate it because I'm bad at it.
Did anything
still.
seem out of the ordinary during the seance?
There is something that bothers me. The fact
Yes,
that the
Sam.
seance failed. The ritual was perfect and everything. How utterly strange.
Now that I think about it, while we were all singing the song, I
There
heard
it is.
something fall.
There it is. No, I didn't want to lie.
I'm more concerned about how dark.
Alright.
Seem out of the ordinary?
Here we go.
While we were all singing the song, I heard something fall.
Oh, how did I miss that? Come on.
I'm more concerned.
While we were all singing the song, I heard something fall.
Come on. Oh, thank God. Okay.
Himiko, you think that something fell because of that sound you heard, right?
It sounded like something heavy fell down and hit the floor really hard. It could have fallen down.
That's gotta be the cross.
Calm down. There wasn't anything on the ceiling that could have fallen down, right?
Am I wrong? I thought something fell, but
The sound was pretty loud. It did seem like something hit the floorboards.
Loud sound like something hit the floorboards. Did that sound something to do with the other thing that happened in the dark? Other thing that happened in the dark. Sound like seance. Well, it's floorboard, it has to be.
This is it! I think the floorboard coming off had something to do with that sound. That floorboard came loose at some point during the seance, right?
Could the floorboard have made such a loud sound, though?
It was the sound of an intense impact.
If the impact was that intense, then it could have loosened the floorboard.
That's true, there would have to be a strong impact to make that sound. Otherwise, it would possibly be.
All right, then. Let's go with that. We all gotta put our heads together now.
Alright. Sever Sands, Magic Circle, Cross.
So what made the floorboard come loose?
Judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force.
Someone who participated in the seance. Maybe that person tore off the floorboard.
That wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound.
Maybe the wooden statue fell over.
But that statue was still on top of the cage.
The culprit hid under floor, then stood up with such might.
But we already said there was no one under the floor.
Someone must have stomped through the floorboard.
A floorboard that comes loose when you step on it is dangerous. God, it's like I'm the only one here who's staying on the ball.
You hardly have any experience with balls to say that, Mew.
Don't be stupid. Don't you know me and balls are the best of friends?
Please stop talking. There'll be a strong enough impact to knock the floorboard loose. We got everyone's testimony, left and facts.
So what made the...
While the cross pieces support the loose floorboard, the sound is elevating. The push that supports the floorboard is cut off. Yes, it has to be that.
Floorboard come loose.
Judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force.
Someone who participated in the seance. Maybe that person tore off the floorboard.
Actually, I think that's it, yeah. Okay, I was going to go with her
I
own
was
weight
wrong.
did it. Maybe not.
So what made the floorboard come loose?
Judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force.
Someone who participated in the seance. Maybe that person tore off the floorboard.
That wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound.
Maybe the wooden statue fell over.
I know that's not possible.
But that statue was still on top of the cage.
The culprit hid under floor, then stood up with such might.
Nope, alright.
Oh no!
So what made the...
But we already said there was no one under the floor.
Someone must have stomped through the floorboard.
I agree.
Okay, I had it right in the wrong spot.
Kokichi is right. The floorboard came loose because someone stomped on it.
The floorboards fit perfect. Going to make sure first time we go to empty room.
When we first saw the room, yes. But when I looked again during the investigation, one of the cross pieces supporting the floorboards was cut off. After examining the cut, I concluded that it must have been done deliberately.
Someone? You mean the culprit, right? Why'd they do that?
What did the culprit stand to gain by cutting the cross piece?
Who's going to gain? That's the question. So in this case, I need to think carefully about the cross piece and floorboard. Toe's body was at one end of the loose floorboard. Cross piece that we cut was on the other end of the floorboard. Her own body would have cut the floorboard down, so that doesn't work. The fourth part was outside the cage, so it was stomped on. Well, one of the cross pieces was cut, the other 4 attacked. One of them was right under Tenko. The other was in the center, right about where the edge of the cage was. So, if someone stopped on the floorboard, let's say the sickle was attached to the floorboard somehow, or to stop on the floorboard, that would allow for the force of the sickle to go up. The culprit attempted to achieve by stopping the floorboard. Come on, think. Oh, I'm bad at this. I have no clue what you want. Is this? Okay, first word seance, probably. No, okay. Sense maybe? Oh, it would help if I had N there, wouldn't it? Actually, I don't even see there is no N, so that doesn't work. Sure it's not seance? You're definitely not seance. Okay, not another S. Yeah, I knew I was coming, but... Retry.
We can't let it end here.
So no SE. Is that E or N? It's E, so C. Oh, seesaw. Alright, so seesaw. No, alright. No. Seesaw something. Back maybe? Okay, there's an F. Yep, alright, another F. Seesaw back. Now where's the T? That T?
I see now.
That's right.
So I'm right about the flipping
Floorboard
then.
might have been used as a seesaw.
Seesaw?
The crosspiece at one end of the floorboard had been cut off. The other 2 crosspieces holding up that board were close to the cage. Meaning, if you were to apply force to the end of the floorboard with no crosspiece,
And
the
cage
next
itself would weigh
crosspiece
the
would
wheel
act as a
down.
fulcrum to turn the floorboard into a lever. A lever capable of lifting up Tenko's entire body.
As you know, having the dog such in a cage hard, it wouldn't have affected that
The
either.
whole body lifted up?
Yeah, that sounds like a seesaw, all right. But why bother lifting Tenko's body?
They couldn't have killed Tenko like that. Unless they used the sickle.
That's exactly it. Using the seesaw trick, it was possible to kill Tenko with a sickle.
It should be close enough.
How?
In order for the culprit to kill Tenko with a seesaw trick, the placement of the sickle is the most important factor.
Floorboard, seesaw, the cage, blood on the white fabric. What conclusions can I draw from this? Well, one place the sickle could have been as consistent with evidence. The top of the cage.
That's it! sickle was at the top of the iron cage, with the blade facing down. The reason we didn't see it was because of the fabric covering the cage. Also, the wooden statue kept the blade in place. It's true that the sickle's handle was thick, which made the statue wobble. But the statue's weight kept it from falling over. Once everything was in place, if you stepped hard enough on the seesaw, Tenko's body would have shot upward and hit the blade on the top of the cage. She was bent over, meaning the sickle's blade would have connected with her neck.
The 6-inch sickle blade wasn't long enough to stab Tenko in her crouch position. But with the floorboard acting as a seesaw, it could compensate for the blade's length.
Bringing the victim to the sickle rather than bringing the sickle to the victim. That's definitely an unorthodox idea.
It's crazy, but it would explain how Tenko got stabbed while she was in the cage.
So that points to the evidence at Kyo right now. Because it would have to be the person who covered the cage.
And the sound we heard was the culprit stomping on the floorboard.
That impact makes floorboard come loose.
Looks like we got ourselves a good old-fashioned seesaw homicide. Wait, what the hell's a seesaw homicide? That's fucking crazy!
The craziness is what really makes the killing game fun, you know? They can't get away with murder the normal way, so they gotta think outside the box. Kudos, culprit! You did a great job keeping me entertained.
Indeed. Well played, Himiko.
Yeah?
It was you, wasn't it? The one behind the seesaw homicide.
You guys saw that double subtitle too, right?
Why her?
Because she's the only one capable of carrying out this plan.
Nope.
The only one? Why's that?
Because this seesaw homicide required its location to be prepared beforehand.
By cutting the crosspiece beneath the floorboard, you mean?
Then the culprit would need to lure their victim into the prepared room.
That is an issue I've not figured out yet.
That is why you chose that room for the seance. Is it not, Himiko?
But that still raises the question of how would the signal get under the tarp?
Oh yeah! Himiko was the one who chose the site for the seance!
She likely found out about my plans for the seance somehow.
You were quite vocal about the seance, Kyo. You even had instructions for it in your lab.
Our culprit, Himiko, prepared her seesaw trap ahead of time. Then she waited for me to host the seance, and suggested the middle room.
Unless you, specifically talk about it from her, because she's right when it comes to stuff like seances, the middle is usually the best.
She led us all
You would
into
know
holding
that.
the seance right where she wanted it. Then, she killed Tenko, all according to plan.
This doesn't work.
That's a lie, right? Himiko did such a thing?
In the end, Himiko, who Tenko cherished and loved, tragically killed her.
Wait! We don't know that, right?
Right.
He's wrong, right, Himiko? Himiko would never kill Tenko, right?
No. Tinko? I killed Tinko?
Himiko?
What's wrong, Himiko?
It's true that he's the middle room Himiko's idea. Does that mean that Himiko really killed Tenko? No, it does not. Something like that really happened. Something so cruel. And I was wondering when we were going to get to that. Yes, I want to save especially as I've heard rumors about a bug happening on this specific trial. Alright.
Well now.
I think the bug only happens if you stop in the middle of it, but... Looks like we've reached the intermission segment, which means it's time for our... Guess the victim quiz. A victim quiz, not a culprit quiz? The only victims are the people who are still watching this drawn-out boring crap. Why are you such a downer all of a sudden?
It's okay.
I am sure everyone is happy. How do you know? They could be skipping this entire conversation for you now. I can't take it. I can't take it anymore. I'm the real victim here. Me. Why are you getting upset? If anything, I'm the real victim. I got put up with all this nonsense all the time.
Absolutely right.
That's the right answer, Manada. Why? He hasn't said anything.
Hey,
Exactly, because there are no victims. Yep, if you're killed in this killing game, you're a winner. Because then everyone mourns you and you get tons of posthumous popularity.
Daddy!
You don't need to reveal these kind of behind-the-scenes details.
all right.
That means we're popular, then we gotta die soon too.
This is my impression of a spooky, scary ghost.
Why?
I'm fine with real ghosts, but in presence of them, I'm too scary!
He is all
What?
that remains of a once
Logic does
powerful
not
yokai.
compute.
What Madam said.
Right now,
Did you hear
you're
something?
on the threshold of an amazing
No.
adventure, Shokai.
I didn't hear anything.
Are they just ignoring Madam now?
One.
Is this because of the intermission? Because just like previous games,
Do you know
Fourth one
what
was
else
nothing.
is scary? Sweet buns. Yep, tasty, tasty sweet buns.
okay, now I'm hungry.
So round,
Is
so
all that
sweet,
remains of a
so
once
delicious.
powerful yokai.
That doesn't sound scary at all!
I'm
Right
scared
now,
too.
you're
Scared
on
of
the
losing
threshold
my
of an
friends.
amazing adventure, Shokai.
Did you hear something?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Answer us, Himiko. You chose the middle room to lure us into your trap, did you not? Then you used that trap to kill Tenko, yes?
Sorry, I'm checking something here. Alright.
Well, Donkey Lips, did you kill that twat?
Donkey lips?
Wait, must be some mistake. No way Himiko is culprit.
Then she needs to defend herself. Otherwise, this debate is deadlocked.
I don't care if you gotta use magic to do it, but say something already.
Are you even listening?
No, I'm not listening.
What?
I don't care anymore. I'm too tired. Angie died. Tenko died. Why did I have to survive? And now, you're all saying I killed them? I just don't care anymore.
Himiko.
Do whatever. If you want to go for me, then just go ahead.
The game gets really blah if the suspect isn't into it.
That's not the problem.
Damn it. Don't tell me you've given up.
Himiko, don't give up.
Don't you understand? My life is riding on the outcome of this trial! Just shut up. I told you, I'm too tired. It's all just big pain. I can't put up with it anymore.
What are you talking about? If you give up here,
You needn't worry. Himiko was the one who chose that room. Therefore, she is unmistakably the culprit.
I don't buy that.
Impossible! Himiko would never kill Tenko! Himiko not that kind of person. Gonta can tell by Himiko's face.
Himiko's a little slow, so I don't think she's capable of handling a complicated crime.
I also think Himiko's not the culprit. Somehow.
Either way, we gotta look for more possibilities.
That does seem like rather a pointless quest.
No, it's not. We gotta be strong. Gotta keep thinking. Then we might find new truth. So no give up, Himiko!
Miko, I know how you feel. I felt the same way after Kaede died. But we can't give up. Survive. Can't give up for the sake of everyone who died. This is the base together to talk.
Performing the seance in that room was Himiko's decision, was it not?
What if someone steered her into picking that room?
Of the 3 empty rooms, why did you select the middle one? Because you laid your trap there.
Was trap only in that room?
That's a good
Other
question.
rooms may be trapped too.
Yeah, even if Himiko picked the room, someone else
Right.
could have set that.
They're also part of the crossbow. That's what I need. Okay.
Your opinions are empty words.
Okay, I have the answer.
Performing the seance in that room was Himiko's decision, was it not?
What if someone steered her into picking that room?
Of the 3 empty
I completely forgot about Peach's testimony. You know, it's Peach.
the middle one. Because you laid your trap there.
Was trap only in that room? Other rooms may be trapped.
There we go.
I agree.
It's just like Gonta said. Each room was the same. They were all trapped.
What? Is that true?
Kokichi will tell you.
Of course.
He was way too careless. Wait, what are you talking about?
Guess there was no Crosby points forward. I kind of stepped through. Let bad luck. He's gonna lie about it because.
While you were in the room next to the crime scene, you found a loose floorboard, right?
Well, I didn't find it so much as I stepped through it and tripped.
What? Hold on! There was also a loose floorboard in the next room?
So the culprit prepared a trap in all 3 empty rooms, not just the middle one.
If the culprit set traps in all the rooms, then they wouldn't need to select a room themselves.
Which points the finger back at Kyo.
So the real trap was for someone else to pick a room and take the blame.
I see. We were caught in the culprit's trap all along.
Especially you!
But now there's no reason to suspect Himiko, right?
Himiko, do you remember what Tenko told you?
Keep your chin up and live life facing forward. Survive with me and everyone else. Please.
Live life facing forward. She said that to you, right? If you give up on living, you'd be betraying her memory. We're all trying to keep our promises to the dead. This trial, it's not just for our lives. It's for everyone who's died as well. That's why we can't give up. This is our responsibility. We live on.
You're right. Yeah, that's right. If I gave up here, I wouldn't be able to face Angie or Tenko.
right. So let's do our best.
All right. I'm not gonna say it's a pain anymore. I won't give up. I'll fight alongside everyone and survive.
Do not say everyone. After all, the Blackened is still among us.
Hey, there you go. Killing the mood like usual.
Right now, all of this
Yeah,
460
well said, Shuichi. That's what I'd expect for my soul, bro.
Please never say that again.
Well, anyway, do you think the Blackened this time has some sort of superpower?
What are you talking about?
Well, as a self-proclaimed expert of stepping through floorboards, isn't it weird that no one stepped through that floorboard before the culprit used it?
Ah, that is a good point.
It must have been barrier magic. Well, that's one possibility, but I think it might have been something else.
I know why. What do you mean there's a network error? Okay, apparently we're back up. That was weird. Why did no one step on the floorboard until this hurt? Assault circle. That's it, that must be the reason.
This is it! It's because of the magic circle at the scene of the crime.
Star appears, be sure to watch your step. My circle's broken, not only would seance fail, but may also unleash a curse. So everyone be careful not to
Before
step
we
around
began the
circle.
seance, we were warned not to step on the circle. The floorboard in question was within the circle. That's why no one stepped on it.
So the magic circle's purpose was to keep us away from the whole trick.
That was part of the culprit's plans, too?
That's right, if that's the case of the culprit. So now in mind, they're the one who killed Tanko. I'm going to save here, just to be safe. Granted, the game's very forgiving about getting back to the points. If I really wanted to, I could just always save and reload and get a perfect score on these, but I never want to do that, because that's boring. I'll first have the opportunity and the motive.
It has to be you!
Kyo. Was it you?
Whatever are you talking about?
I'm talking about Tenko's murder.
Kyo? Why do you suspect me?
Because you were the one who drew the magic circle. The circle kept us from discovering the seesaw trick. But that's not all it was for. In order to make the murder succeed, variables like Tenko's position and the placement of the cage needed to be defined. And those variables were defined by using the magic circle. In short, the circle itself was the most important tool in this murder. Knowing that, the person who drew the magic circle has to be the culprit.
Well, Kyo,
Of course, it still raises the question of, is he the one who killed Angie?
Answer already! Did you do it?
What is so funny?
I was just thinking. So this is how each Blackened must have felt. What an intriguing experience this is.
What? An intriguing experience?
Wait, is
But
he
if
sort of
I
admitting-
am the culprit as you claim, then I stomped on the floorboard, yes? So, do tell. How could I have stomped on the floorboard during that darkened seance?
That's a good point, actually.
See, that is problem.
Unless that is made clear, you cannot be certain I am the culprit.
How can you be so calm when you're backed into a corner like this?
I will explain that in due time. Please answer my question first.
Culprit stepped on that exact floorboard even in the darkness. But how? How'd they move around in total darkness? From that's dark, it's hard to imagine the culprit found the right board. Though even after I put out the candle, I could move along the wall with my hand.
Wait a minute. Maybe...
Did you figure it out?
So the culprit didn't even have to see it all. They used touch.
That's it! The culprit used touch. They didn't see, they felt.
That way they could get around in the dark, like how I got to the candle.
Wasn't Seesaw in middle of room? Gonta doesn't think it was near wall.
Salt.
So they probably used something besides the wall to move then, right?
Were there any other markers within reach?
Of course, the answer to that is there was nothing of the sort.
I wouldn't say that. I'm sure there's something. Landmark that could be used to determine where the floorboard was. Must be the scene, I know it. Salt circle, right? I don't see an S. Really? I was just talking about that one. We're gonna find the first word. Alright, so and oh, magic circle. G I. Right, C, another I.
Magic circle. They used the magic circle.
It's interesting which ones I find I get right away.
The magic circle was drawn with salt. The culprit used the salt's texture to feel their way through the dark.
I see. So Kyo traced the magic circle with his hands to get to the loose floorboard.
Oh, I see. You drew the magic circle with salt to use it as a guide.
An interesting thought. It is unfortunate that it is so wrong.
What?
Recall the document. What did the magic circle look like?
Based on the document, the magic circle wouldn't reach the corners of the room.
So what?
When the room was darkened, each of us was in a corner of the room, yes? The magic circle didn't reach us, so I could not have followed it, yes?
Oh, that doesn't mean anything.
But you're talking about the magic circle in the document. That doesn't mean the circle you drew was the same.
No, I most definitely drew it exactly the same. I have it perfectly memorized.
So which is it? Is there any way to check?
Nope.
Not anymore. The magic circle is a complete mess from being trampled on.
See, another piece of the puzzle. For a circle of salt, all but guaranteed it would be temporary. investigation itself, we've gone over the evidence. Clever.
Everyone, may I have your attention, please?
Do you have a camera? Do you have a camera function?
What a pain. We don't have any way to check it now.
Excuse me, everyone. May I have your attention, please?
Well, I guess there's no point in discussing the magic circle anymore.
Hey, may I have your attention?
Ow. Actually does hurt.
Cut that out! It's too bright!
I apologize. I just wanted everyone to listen to me.
About what?
I had Miu add another function to my body, in addition to the flashlight.
No way! Did you really? Stop! You can't! I didn't install it for that purpose!
Please, let me use it. With it, I might be able to save everyone.
Alright, so what is this function?
I know what purpose she actually put it in for.
It's an image recording function.
Image recording?
Specifically, this function allows me to dispense a printout of my own memory. I'll give it a try. Ready?
I'm sorry, I can't not laugh at that.
From your mouth?
I also used magic like that before.
This printout is my memory of being kicked out of the seance. Please confirm that the floor of the empty room is clearly visible. Go on, take the picture and see for yourself.
Okay, got it.
Reluctantly took the paper from Kiba's mouth. The lines go to the wall. This is the magic circle used for the seance.
Well, Shuichi, do you notice anything?
Notice anything? Yeah.
There!
This helped a lot, Kibo. Without you, I never would have seen through Kyo's lie.
My lie.
You just said that you drew the magic circle exactly as it appears in the document. But that's a lie, isn't it? The magic circle at the scene had lines that stretched to the room's corners, which means that you would be able to find the floorboard from anywhere in the room.
So it was different from the document after all.
All because Himiko noticed. And because of Kibo, too.
Hey, where's my things? I'm the one who installed that function into Kibo.
Yeah, we know yours was for exhibition purposes.
Hey, yeah! What was it you were saying about its purpose?
Please don't ask.
Oh, to be honest, the purpose of that image recording function is to monitor my health.
Uh-huh.
Specifically, I make Kibo use that function every day to analyze my turds.
Not what I was expecting.
You what? Why? Shit is a great indicator of intestinal health and gut bacteria quality. Plus, taking a satisfying shit does wonders for a woman's natural beauty, so... See? You're all grossed out! This is why I didn't want to tell you about my plan! Quit talking about your poop. No one cares. Kyo, you killed Tenko, didn't you? Just give up and admit it already.
So, Kyo, if you have any objections, you can...
Your deductions are fiction. Well, since you've given me the option, I will most certainly object. To be honest, it's unimportant, but it may be an amusing diversion.
Right, because if you kill Tenko, that doesn't mean that you killed Angie.
Now I shall bear witness to your abilities, Shuichi. Do entertain me. If you are going to claim I am the culprit, Then what of the murder weapon? It was set up in the cage. The only people capable of that are Kokichi and Shuichi, who carried the cage. So suspicion should fall on them.
Come on.
If you are going to claim I am the culprit, then what of the murder weapon? It was set up in the cage. The only people capable of that are Kokichi and Shuichi, who carried the cage. So suspicion should fall on them.
Oh good, it got to be
True,
James,
we
okay.
could have placed the sickle there, but we could not have removed it later. Because we weren't the ones who lifted the cage. That was Himiko.
The only person who could have collected the sickle was he.
Nope.
But the only people who could have placed the sickle are Kokichi and Shuichi. But in regards to that dilemma, I did not carry the cage, nor did I lift it. I had no opportunity to touch
There it
the
is.
sickle.
I'll cut through your words.
That was an easy one. The hard part was actually getting the sword to cut right.
The only person who could have set up the sickle and retrieved it afterward is Kyo. That was done by covering the cage with a white cloth. You could have secretly placed the sickle when you draped the cloth. And retrieved it afterward when you removed the cloth.
The cloth was near the hole in the back.
Then, while everyone was distracted, you discreetly dropped the sickle under the floor.
Wonderful! That's exactly correct.
What?
It's correct. Then why don't you give up already?
Because of the important part of the trial.
The trick I put so much work into is just wasted effort now. Alas.
So, it was you? You killed Tenko?
Let me guess. You'll never forgive me. Himiko, you must hate me so very much. Maybe you'd feel better if I was executed by Monokuma. But unfortunately for you, that won't happen. Because if you vote for me, every spotless, including myself, will die.
What you talking about, Kyo?
Really? Nobody's gonna get that.
You still don't understand?
The target audience is not gonna get that.
I killed Tenko, that is the truth. But it is meaningless in this class trial.
Meaningless?
You mean Monokuma's extra rule, right?
What happens to your vote? Oh, that's right. What happens to your votes if there are two black candidates? Well, I have an answer for that. It's first come, first served.
You see, I killed Tenko, but not Angie. For us, Tenko's death is nothing but a trivial issue. Because the blackened in this trial is the culprit who killed Angie.
Trivial issue? No, that's gotta be a lie. You probably killed Angie too.
That is simply not possible. Recall that I was unable to enter Angie's lab.
Oh, only student council members and Kokichi could enter research lab.
How could I have possibly killed Angie when I couldn't even enter her lab?
You couldn't enter it when she was in there, however...
I figured that out. No one else could have done it besides you. If you're the one who killed Tenko, you gotta be the one who killed Angie.
I understand how you feel, Himiko, but maybe we can discuss this rationally and calmly. There is a non-zero possibility that Kyo is telling the truth.
So you understand how she feels. I see. Wait, robots can understand human feelings?
You're just doing the best
Of course I
you?
understand. I worked really hard to understand.
Hey, why are you getting all worked up, Kibo? Chill, dude.
That's enough! It's voting time! I'm gonna vote for him!
Voting for me will only help the one who murdered Angie.
Isn't Kyo culprit?
We don't know.
Of course I'm not. This case was an error on my part. Monokuma added that rule after both bodies were found, yes? How was I to know that the trial would only be for Angie's killer? Had I known, I certainly wouldn't have killed Tenko.
You're lying! You killed Tenko and Angie!
Now hold on. Jumping to conclusions here is dangerous.
We should
We
talk
haven't
it
ever
out more.
sworn yet.
This case might have juicy plot twists waiting to happen.
Nuts to that! Any way you look at this case, Kyo is obviously the culprit.
Yeah, there's sort of no other way to look at it.
No, it's too dangerous to vote before we arrive at a logical decision.
It's one of you! Wowee! This argument is getting intense! At times like this. The Ultimate Academy is proud to present its very own more phenomenal trial ground!
Yep, here it is.
Yippee! I've been
this.
waiting for this!
Why were you waiting for it?
He confessed to killing Tenko, but insisted he didn't kill Angie. We'll forgive Kyo for what he did, but we can't vote to the facts. Pin down the evidence and convince everyone. Alright, I like this part. I'm bad at it, but I like this part. Again, do the dead ones really need to live?
Kyo killed Tenko and Angie! He forced his way into Angie's research lab and killed her!
Kyo! Anyone could have entered my lab.
Alright, so I know that one.
The katana was found in Kyo's lab.
So Kyo did kill Tenko, but he not blackened?
Kokichi! Perhaps there's a second blackened we need to find.
He was planning to
Okay.
use the new rule to protect himself all along.
Kyo!
That's possible.
Not possible. That rule was added after both murders.
We solved the mystery of Tenko's death. Can't we just vote now?
Mystery.
I got this!
Not yet. There's still another mystery to solve.
Kyo killed Tenko and Angie!
Alright. We're almost there.
Kyo killed Tenko and Angie!
I got this!
But he couldn't get into Angie's research lab.
He forced his way into Angie's research lab and killed her!
Kyo! Anyone could have entered my lab.
The katana was found in Kyo's lab.
Maybe that's a
Kyo
lab.
did kill Tenko.
Kokichi! Perhaps there's a second blackened we need to find.
He was planning to use the new rule to protect himself.
Kyo! Not possible. That rule was added after both murders.
We solved the mystery of Tenko's death.
I got this!
Not yet. There's still another mystery to solve.
First two I still don't have yet.
Kyo killed Tenko and Angie!
Kokichi! Perhaps there's a second
that was
blackened
wrong.
we need to find.
He forced his way into Angie's research lab and killed her!
The katana was found in Kyo's lab.
Kyo! Anyone could have entered my lab.
So
Right,
Kyo
your
did kill
lab
Tenko,
is-
but he not blackened?
Kokichi! Perhaps there's a second blackened we need to find.
He was planning to use the new rule.
Kyo! Not possible. That rule was added after both murders.
We solved the mystery.
I got this!
Not yet. There's still another mystery to solve.
Kyo killed Tenko and...
Okay. Okay, I think I know what.
Kyo killed Tenko and Angie!
Kibo! We don't know for certain that Kyo killed Angie.
He forced his way into Angie's...
I got this!
But he couldn't get into Angie's research lab.
The katana was
Kyo! Anyone could have entered my lab.
So Kyo did kill Tanko.
Kokichi! Perhaps there's a second Blackened we need to find.
Once you realize the kill, it's not that bad.
Not
but
possible.
It can take a bit.
That rule was added after both murders. I got this!
Then how let's try to go
There's
fast.
still another mystery to solve.
Now that changes up.
It would be a mistake to vote before we've completely solved Angie's murder. And there's still the mystery of Tanko's murder.
Mystery? What kind of mystery?
Well, Kyo's confession derailed our conversation a bit. But we still have to go over one of the clues found at Tanko's crime scene. I believe it might even have something to do with Angie's murder.
Dried blood, right. It's not like there's some evidence of Tango's murder scene.
This is it! The bloodstain found under the floor. Maki and I found it during the investigation. It was beneath the floorboard that the culprit stomped on.
Is that Tanko's spot?
Nope.
That bloodstain was too far from Tanko's corpse to have been hers.
Also, the bloodstain was already dry when we found it. But the blood from Tanko's body hadn't even begun to dry yet.
Well, that's weird. Why was that bloodstain the only dry one?
Well, the center of the floorboard was dry because it happened before the seance.
That's it! The bloodstain wasn't from Tanko's murder. It was there before we started the seance.
Raises more questions. To make it clear whose blood it was. Or Kyo's, probably. Was it Kyo before the seance? When I say able to see something, maybe injured himself. It would not be possible that this is a correct answer.
Oh no!
Okay, so they acknowledge that actually is a possibility. Okay, most likely it's Angie's.
That's it! That bloodstain wasn't Tanko's. It was Angie's.
Why was blood from Angie at the scene of Tanko's murder?
Yeah, wasn't Angie killed in her research lab?
Just because we found her body there doesn't mean she was killed there.
Ah, I guess that's possible.
If Angie wasn't killed in her lab, then that opens up a lot more possibilities.
Yeah, literally everyone becomes a suspect.
We assumed that only council members could have killed Angie since her body was in her lab. But if she died somewhere else, then we can't suspect just the council members anymore.
So the culprit didn't enter her lab, but waited for her to come out of it?
I'm not sure if the culprit waited for her, but they probably killed her when she came out. Well, I thought that was more likely from the start. So I went to places Angie might have gone and checked all 3 empty rooms.
Places she might have gone? Why did you check the empty rooms then?
The empty rooms were the only places I could think of that Angie would go.
That's not an answer.
Did Angie have business in rooms?
It seems Kokichi's up to his usual misleading nonsense again.
Yeah.
I do lie a lot, and I could be lying right now too. But I'm pretty sure someone's panicking right now because of my lie.
If she left her lab on her own, it was headed out, and her room she was killed. Is this statement true, or... I think the statement is true for once, but that doesn't help.
The art research lab is not where Angie was killed. She was killed in the empty room instead.
She left her lab on her own?
But why would she go into an empty room? There shouldn't have been anything in there.
I have an idea.
Except for candles.
That's it! She wanted a candle!
Oh,
Keep herself
actually, that
awake
makes
at
sense.
night. She would drip hot wax on her body.
That sounds like something only you would do, Mia.
The art research lab
She
is
goes
not
to the
where
candles
Angie
for
was
wax.
killed. She was killed in the
Wax and cheese. Yeah, wax and cheese.
empty room instead.
She left her lab on her own?
But why would she go into an empty room? There shouldn't have been anything in there. Except for candles.
You're actually right. What?
Damn it! The art research lab
They're an FG.
is not where Angie was killed. She was killed in the empty
Probably
room
the
instead.
Necronomicon that I need.
She left her lab on her own?
But why would she go into an empty room? There shouldn't have been anything in there. Except for candles.
That's it! Candle!
I agree.
The FG's made more sense to the agreement there, but
That's it.
I was right on that being
Angie
what
went to that room to get a candle.
Yeah, for kinky wax play.
No. Angie was going to use it for the ritual. According to the Necronomicon, to resurrect the dead.
prepare the effigy for this Necronomicon to ashes. Oh, we're asking for the wax, but she needs something to burn the book. Just caution, you might have carbon monoxide poisoning.
Then, did she seek out a candle so she could burn the book?
That's right. There's nothing to start a fire with in Angie's lab. So she went to go get a candle from one of the empty rooms.
And that's when the culprit attacked her.
That's why there was dried blood underfloor.
Which means Angie was attacked in the same room the seance was held. Bravo, Himiko. Well done for choosing that room for the seance. If we hadn't done the seance in that room, then Tenko's murder would have been in another room. If that happened, no one would have discovered Angie's bloodstain under the floorboards.
That's right. Shuichi and I only checked under the floorboards where Tenko died.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to look
All
anywhere
thanks
else.
to Himiko for choosing the same room as Angie. This must be a Tua's will. Or maybe magic.
Okay,
It's
stop
neither.
making fun of her.
I just picked one.
Hold on. You're all acting as though you've proven that is fact already. You claim Angie was murdered in the empty room, and then moved to the lab? Then how do you explain the large amount of blood in the lab? It may be possible to carry a body, but blood cannot be moved.
I think
Maybe
she was
actually
still
investigate the
alive
blood.
after the attack in the empty room. She was killed after she was carried to her lab.
It's the culprit attacked her twice. I have evidence of that. Right. Yeah, last year saw both the torso and her forehead. What? How's that really not?
Oh no!
Okay, it's a forehead injury.
This is it! The fatal wound was a cut to the back of her neck from a katana. But she also showed signs of blunt force trauma, and I think I know why. After After Angie was knocked unconscious in the empty room, she was killed in her lab.
I see. So that puddle of blood is from the killing blow. Ha! It's all clear now. Angie was attacked in the empty room, carried to her lab. And it was there that the culprit finished her off.
All clear. This is all clear. What are you all talking about? All clear? What is all clear? What are you? All clear?
Oh no, is this the part I'm dreading?
What are you all? You what? What are... I will not fear. I will not back down.
No, I've been wondering about that.
Sweet Korekio, calm yourself.
I had mentioned the possibility of multiple personalities before when he mentioned about his sister being with him the entire time.
Their words are all hollow. There is no meaning to any of them.
What?
You must teach these ignorant children a lesson.
Yes, you're right. Okay, I'll teach them.
What the hell are you mumbling about? You're giving me the goddamn willies!
Not yet. Nothing is clear at all. It's full of doubts, of mysteries, of a dense, impenetrable fog! Nothing is clear at all!
Oh, no, not yet. Okay.
Angie was attacked in the empty room first. And then carried into the research lab? Impossible! Impossible! That's nothing but a delusion! You intend to poison our minds with your delusions?
It's no delusion.
So explain the duct
Angie's
tape
two
on
external
there.
wounds tell the story. After she was struck in the empty room, she was carried to the art research lab and then killed.
You say the culprit carried Angie's body? And not a single drop of blood fell? The hallway and empty room had no bloodstains. Even if you wiped them down later, there'd still be traces of evidence left behind. But there was no evidence anywhere, was there, Shuichi?
I'll cut through your words.
There was evidence left at the scene. The bloody tape under Angie's body.
What?
It was wrapped around her head to stop the bleeding while she was being carried.
Bloody tape? Gonta didn't notice at all.
It was under the body. It's most likely evidence the culprit should have gotten rid of. But since it was hidden, the culprit didn't notice and failed to dispose of it.
It must have fallen as the fatal blow was dealt and ended up under her body.
Must have been Akua who did that for us.
Well, I will point out that my favorite characters have caused murder in every single one of these.
What? Atua? How long are you going to keep
caused
that
the
up?
trial, rather. I only had one, they never murdered anyone.
Now we know most of the mystery behind Angie's murder.
I'm convinced there's only one person who could have killed Angie.
So it actually is the same person, or
It has to be you.
same body, to be more accurate.
It's you, Kyo. You killed Angie.
What the fuck? So it's true!
Well, that was obvious. Such a boring, obvious answer.
The real question is, did Kyo do it, or did Kyo's sister do it? And does that matter?
You killed both of them. Why did you kill them?
In terms of pure logic, only one victim was necessary to win.
Why? Why you killed them both?
I think one of the murders was an accident.
An accident?
That's right. It wasn't part of the plan.
Huh? Which one?
Actually, that's a good question. Which one? Angie's being the accident makes more sense. Where there's an accident, Angie's.
That's it!
Because too much work went into the whole cage child thing.
Angie's murder was an accident.
What? Tenko wasn't accident?
That's right. Keel originally planned to kill someone with a seesaw trick. But while he was making preparations in the empty room, Angie walked in. So he decided to kill her in order to keep her from talking.
I'm still surprised that Angie was not a murderer. I thought for sure
culprit
that
setting up and was killed.
Then, should have just stopped there. Killed Angie. There was no reason for him to kill Tinko.
You only needed to kill one for this game. Killing two is pointless. If you get bonus points for killing more, then sure. Otherwise, it leaves more clues behind.
Why, Keo? Why you killed two of our friends?
Yeah, I'm a bit confused on this one.
What is it? What on earth are you talking about? No, I'm not the culprit. So, why is everyone looking at me like I am? Why? Why are they? Why is it? Calm yourself, Korekio. Yes. You mustn't raise your voice. You mustn't stutter. You mustn't lose composure. You mustn't become flustered. You mustn't waver. Look at their horrid faces. This sorry lot is not worth agonizing over. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
There he goes again. What the hell's wrong with him?
It almost seems like he's talking with someone.
Because he is.
Someone? He's just talking to himself. And why the hell is he wearing lipstick?
No matter how loudly you protest, this is a trivial matter. I never acknowledge your allegations. Not a single one of them. So you see, there is no evidence that I killed Angie. No, I will not acknowledge it. I will only acknowledge facts, true events. I won't acknowledge fiction, mystery. I won't acknowledge your deductions or guesses. Well said. Good job, Korekio. Yes, thanks.
Creeps me the fuck out!
There's no evidence that he killed Angie?
You're wrong. There is evidence.
What? You do realize bluffs like that won't work, yes?
The weapon that was used to knock Angie unconscious in the empty room. That weapon tells us the whole story, Keo.
Have that information? We never actually look at the other side of the stone, did we?
That's not possible. I think you may have misunderstood. Apologize. Come on, apologize. 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 Apologize, 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 apologize.
Seriously, what the hell's happening?
I already know what's happening with Kyo. But I know a weapon used on the engine included.
I have nothing to admit.
Yep, I was afraid of this.
You are simply wrong. Yes, I'm not the culprit. So I have nothing to confess. I have nothing to admit. You are simply wrong. Yes, I'm not the culprit. So I have nothing to confess. I have nothing to admit. You are simply wrong. Yes, I'm not the culprit. So I have nothing to confess.
I'm really bad at this.
Why must you force your delusions on us? Your logic, that's merely a delusion. Well said, Correcchio. To continue this debate is meaningless. Why must you force your delusions on us? Your logic, that's merely a delusion. Well said, Correcchio. To continue this debate is meaningless. Why must you force your delusions on us? Your logic, that's merely a delusion. Well said, Correcchio. To continue this debate is meaningless. Why must you force your delusions on us? Your logic, that's merely a delusion. I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me. Correcchio speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot. Apologize. Apologize. I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me. Correcchio speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot. Apologize. Apologize. I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me. Correcchio speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot. Apologize. I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me. Correcchio speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot. Apologize. I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me. Correcchio speaks the truth.
This is hard.
Such a sorry lot. Apologize. I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me. You have no proof that Correcchio is the killer.
3, 2, 4, 4.
It ends here!
So not what this is.
Kyo hit Angie with the same floorboard used in the seesaw trick.
I see. And how do you know the floorboard was the murder weapon?
There was a small patch of dry blood on
I
the
forgot
underside
about
of
that.
the floorboard. Angie's blood? Blood that spattered there when the culprit struck Angie with the board. But that's not the only evidence that she was hit with that floorboard. There's also the blood stain under the floor to consider. For that to be there, the floorboard must not have been in place at the time of the attack.
Good point. Had the floorboard been in place, her blood wouldn't have splattered beneath it.
Kyo's earlier confession is further evidence that the floorboard was used.
How?
The weapon used to hit Angie is the floorboard from the seesaw trick.
It means the culprit knew about the seesaw So the same person killed Tenko and Angie. I believe that while Keo was setting up the seesaw, he was holding the board when Angie walked in.
And a helicopter with a floorboard.
All you can do now is accept it. You even confessed to Tenko's murder already.
Looks like we're almost at the end. All right, Shuichi, I'll leave the finale to you. Bring down the house.
You've done nothing.
Please, put an end to this. For Angie and Tenko's sake. End this class trial.
I understand. I'll go over everything one more time. Keo, I want you to confess. No, I will force you to confess.
Who's the culprit with the soul in the empty room? Do I have that? I do not. What weapon knocked Angie unconscious? That's the floorboard. Do I have that one? Yes. Was the present injury? That's the duct tape. Bob killed Angie. That was the katana. I wasn't sure if that was Bobby right or not. Used effigy to stop the katana. That's the days. Do I have that? I do not. The handle of the spinning katana. Alright, that hits the slide lock. When Annie's body was found, she unlocked the door. That's the key. I don't have that available yet. Object to Tenko. Okay, that's a stone. What did the culprit set up on the arcade? Just sickle. One more lock unlocks the rest of this. And besides, Kokichi was responsible for extinguishing the candles. That's me, so that doesn't work. How's the culprit able to move around the darkness and salt? Alright, that unlocks everything else. Look, I'm trying to unlock everything. Come on. I feel better if I do it this way. Use the culprit. That Keo. Wait. Okay, apparently I can't do that. Use effigy stats to 8 days. Use by a strap, Kichi unlock the door. Shuichi. Culprit approached the cage. odd way
truth of the
putting
case.
that. So I got confused.
Let's look back at the first murder. It was late last night. The culprit was in the empty room on the 4th floor. The culprit was preparing the seance murder they had planned. To use the floorboard as a seesaw, they had to cut the crosspiece supporting it.
So, my favorite character in the first game was Sakura. She committed suicide. Favorite person in the second game was Gundam. He killed Nekamaru. Favorite person in this game was Gorikyo. And well, he did 2 murders.
The plan was to make the same preparations for all 3 empty rooms. This would divert suspicion away from the culprit and whoever picked a room. To cut the crosspieces, they needed a saw. I imagine they got one from the warehouse. They were planning to cut the crosspieces in all 3 rooms. However, when the culprit was working on the middle room, the unexpected happened. Angie walked into that room and saw the culprit making their preparations. She needed some fire for the ritual and had gone to the room for a candle. At that point, the culprit had not finished the setup and was just cutting crosspieces. Angie might not have concluded that it was tied to some kind of murder plan. But now that Angie had seen it, the culprit couldn't use the seesaw trick. Any other person might have just given up, but not our culprit. The culprit took the floorboard they loosened and struck the unsuspecting Angie in the head. The culprit did not want to give up on their plan and had to improvise. They wrapped duct tape around Angie's injury to stop the bleeding. Then they picked up her unconscious body and carried her to a research lab. While she was unconscious, the culprit hurried to tie up this loose end. But because they were in a hurry, they made a crucial oversight. They didn't notice the duct tape had peeled off and was under Angie's body. Without that evidence, we may never have figured out the culprit's trick. Carrying the supplies they needed, the culprit returned to the ultimate art lab. Locked the front door from inside. And took out the katana they brought from their own lab. They then stabbed Angie in the back of the neck, finally killing her. Then, to further confuse us, the culprit attempted to make a locked room mystery. First, they used rope from the warehouse and hung 4 effigies upside down. There were 2 reasons for this: to overwhelm the room with an occult atmosphere, and the other was the key to locking the room. The culprit stuck the katana into Kaede's effigy near the rear entrance. And spun the effigy around to twist up the rope. After enough turns, the culprit let go and headed for the rear door.
We really did see
Once
it from that
released,
angle.
the effigy began spinning, and the gold leaf katana with it. The handle of the katana then hit the sliding lock, locking the door. A difficult trick, but remember that the lock was so loose it moved at the slightest touch. The culprit also would have had the opportunity to attempt it many times. Once complete, the door was locked, but the duct tape was left behind. Perhaps the culprit noticed it, but by that point, it was too late. The room was sealed. There was no way for them to get back inside. Then, this morning, we opened up the room and discovered Angie's body. But the culprit wasn't finished. They wanted one more murder. To do that, they manipulated us into performing this seance. Of the 3 empty rooms, the middle one was chosen for the seance. I was invited by Kokichi to take Kibo's place in the seance. Tenko volunteered to be the medium, but she never imagined it would get her killed. To perform the seance, the culprit claimed they needed something for Tenko. A small stone that Himiko had brought from the courtyard.
That's to make sure she's positioned
Tenko,
right.
at the culprit's request, bowed her head until it was touching the stone. That position was instrumental in making sure the murder went as planned. Next, Kokichi and I placed the iron cage over Tenko in the middle of the magic circle. The culprit then volunteered to drape the white cloth over the iron cage. We didn't realize it at the time, but that was a deliberate decision by the culprit. They needed to set up the murder weapon that was used to kill Tenko. While they were covering the cage with a cloth, they secretly placed the sickle. Finally, 4 of us placed the wooden statue on top of the cage. The culprit used the weight of the statue to keep the murder weapon in place. After the preparations were complete, we began the seance. In complete darkness, we each stood in one corner and sang the Cage Child song. When the song finished, the soul of the dead was supposed to enter the medium. But our culprit had another plan, to commit a murder in the darkness. Right after we started singing, the culprit began making their way toward Tenko. It would have been quite difficult to do in total darkness, but our culprit had a guide. They used the lines of the magic circle drawn with salt. The culprit felt for the salt and used it to guide them along. And when the culprit reached the center of the circle, they found the floorboard that had its crosspiece cut off the night before. Then lifted up their foot and stomped down hard on the floorboard. The floorboard lifted up like a seesaw. and pushed Tenko's body up toward the ceiling of the cage. Tenko was stabbed in the back of the neck by the sickle on the top of the cage. She was killed right before our eyes, and we didn't even see it. After committing the crime, the culprit followed the Salt back to their corner. Finished the ritual and had us light the candles. We followed the culprit's directions and removed the equipment used for the seance. And discovered Tenko's body. While we were all focused on the body, the culprit picked up the sickle and dropped it under the floor through the hole in the corner of the room. Ironically, the final step of the murder was unwittingly carried out by us. The culprit had planned the murder so that we would unintentionally destroy some evidence. That evidence was the magic circle that the culprit used to navigate in the dark. However, the culprit didn't know that Kibo had taken a picture. He really saved us. Without that, we wouldn't know what changes were made to the circle. But now we know for certain, and we know the culprit drew the magic circle. Korekyo Shinguchi, the ultimate anthropologist. You're the culprit behind these murders. That's where my detective work leads us. It all fits.
Sweet Kodak.
Yep, Benefac's sister was coming.
There were times when it's necessary to admit defeat. Admit? Yeah. Okay.
So you finally admit you did it.
Fortunately. Yes. Yes. It's unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. My one regret, my only regret, was not being able to make 100 friends.
Say what? Oh no, don't tell me it's one of those.
100 friends?
I'm surprised it's not 108.
It was my dream to make 100 friends. Oh, it's so unfortunate! I was so close to 100!
I had a
What are you
feeling.
talking about? I do not understand a word of this.
I'm afraid I do.
Who gives a fuck? Let's vote for this kooky bastard and be done with this already!
Roger that! One voting time! Coming up!
The heart racing excitement as
The heart-racing excitement!
As a blackened and a spotless finally face off.
It's voting time!
Alright, which one is he gonna do this time? Alright, I actually have to do this.